All right. Looks like we are live early. Can you guys believe I actually came to a stream early for you guys? Like, I actually started up earlier because there was no need for me to actually wait the rest of the time. I think I accidentally put it out too far. I thought I needed about 20 minutes, but I only needed about 10 minutes to get everything going or to get everything ready. So we started early. Saw a lot of you guys here in the chat already piled in. So I decided, hey, let's not keep the good people waiting. Let's just get things rocking and rolling. Plus, I got a ton of stuff to do. Oh my God, it's such a busy weekend. I've got all sorts of videos to edit. I've got all sorts of things to do. I am a busy boy this weekend. But, of course, you guys know good and well, we've always got time for the Elite Ninja. For Friday, JoJo Fridays in the house, ready to go. So, I want to say shout outs to everybody here. Thank you guys so much for joining me today. I hope you guys are having a fantastic day. Here a bit earlier than I thought I'd be here today, but nonetheless, we are here. So let's get things rolling. Let's start off with the shout outs. So if you're here in the chat, make sure you say what up. Be more than happy to say hi back to all my lovely, beautiful, awesome Elite Ninjas. So let's see here. Dior is here. Party Man is here. Solo Nepion says early bird gets the chat. Anyway, OJ. Anyway, what's up, OJ? From the very first system they released, I felt they lost. Okay, says Solo Nepion. You talk about Xbox, right? Yeah, we're gonna get you guys' Xbox opinions. You guys can start putting them down too, if you want. And what do you guys think about the chat? I kind of made it a bit fatter and I made it lower. So let me know how you guys think about the chat placement as well. I think it's okay right there, but we'll see how you guys feel about it or whatever. All right, let's keep it going here though, guys. I was thinking about moving this the view counter up over here too, like moving it to like this side, so it can be like right or like right, no, probably like right underneath, something like that right there. I think that'd be good, just like kind of stack it. Let's see how it looks. I think that looks okay. So yeah, still playing around with things. Let's see here. Party Man is here. The Great Wah, the man with the great wine. He's wine the great. Let's go. Thank you so much, the Great Wah. Good to be here. Happy to have you here. Welcome. Ryan M, the Hokage. Let's go. Bead Queen. Hey, what's up, Bead Queen? Welcome to the stream, young lady. Shout outs. Thank you for coming out to the stream today. I do appreciate you, like always. Nintendo's in talks to buy Xbox. It's done. You're done. Is it you're done? Nin128, what's up, man? Lootbox Me Senpai, what's good, Lootbox Me Senpai? Daniel Y is here, the man, the myth, the legend, Daniel Yazbek. What's good, babies? What's good? Joseph S, George FT, Bobby Rivera, Jeff Shadow. Man, it's good to see you guys. What's good? Welcome to the stream, boys and girls. Hope all of you are doing great. All right, Zen G, early bird, yes sir. I only ever owned the 360, never had interest in any other Xboxes. I see that's a common theme among a lot of gamers. I only owned the Xbox 360. I didn't own anything else because if you look at the sales numbers, right, the breakdown, the original Xbox about 24 million, Xbox One around 50 million estimates, maybe a little bit less. And then now an Xbox Series, I think it's like a little bit below about 30 million or something. So yeah, if you take out the Xbox 360, they haven't really sold like a ton of systems, right? They've never really been past the like 70, 80, 90 million mark, and they've never sold 100 million systems in the history. So yeah, common theme. What's up, Nick? Yeah, it's pretty hot. It's pretty hot, man. It was like 80, 90 degrees here, and it's just gonna be miserable the rest of the week, 90s. So yeah, it's already summer. It's already summer now. It's flipped like a switch. Shut the view counter down, Phil Spencer. Oh man. Hey, what's up, Alonzo Vines? Welcome to the stream, brother. Let's see here. Happy to be here. Hyper Switch 2 content that is not just clickbait nonsense like other YouTubers. Yes sir. We're gonna do a little roundup of all the Switch news, and then of course get your comments on that. What you guys think so far from the news. Let's see here. It's crazy how PS3 outsold 360 in the end. I don't think it's too crazy considering all the things that Sony did to get the PS3 to sell what it sold towards the end. I mean, Did you see how many revisions? I mean, I'm pretty sure you remember, Nick, right? You have like the slim, like the super slim, the super ghetto slim. I mean, they stripped that thing down like naked from what it was. Like, I've never seen a system go from as good as the PS3 was to as crappy as the last PS3s were. It was like insane, right? Like the first PS3s are the best PS3s. Like the PS3 launch models, especially like if you had the higher, I think it was like the 60 gig or something. I think it was a 60 gig. Those are like the best PS3s that you could have, right? And it just got considerably crappier with each remodel and cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. So they got it down to about $199? $199 or it was like $150. I think there was even bundles for $150 where they just gave you like 3 or 4 games. They just packed everything in there. And they were so ghetto, dude. They would like, you know, obviously no backwards compatibility, none of all the different ports. They would just have like one of them was like a ghetto slider. Like it like slid open to put the disc in. It was like, oh my goodness. They did all sorts of things to actually get that thing selling a lot more towards the end. So it doesn't really surprise me too much. But I'm glad that I got my big fat PS3. That's the best one. So yeah. Oh man, that was the price, dude. I mean, Uncharted helped and all that, but I'm telling you, those Black Friday bundles towards the end really pushed PS3. I mean, I know I have friends that worked at GameStop at that time. I had friends that worked at Walmart distributing at that time, and yeah, those PS3s would just fly off shelves, man, towards the end because they were cheap. You know, you can get them, like I said, Black Friday for like some of them, sometimes $100 for like bundles, deals, 150, 200, and they'll give you like a ton of games with them. They'll give you like 3-4 games, you know, with them. Sony was pretty lenient with their bundles, like what you could do in store. That I remember, like my GameStops, they had these crazy bundles where you can get PlayStation Plus, Uncharted 3, like a Ratchet and Clank game, and like 2 other titles for like $150. It was nuts towards the end of the PS3's run. But yeah, I mean, it you know, credit where credit is due. They did have a crazy comeback towards the end. Let's see here. That sliding PS3 is the one that I have. Yeah, those ghetto. I mean, I'm pretty sure down the line, those things will actually be worth a little bit, but not more than the actual fat PS3s that have backwards compatibility with PS1, PS2, PS3 games have a bunch of like micro SD and memory card ports, and they have 4 USBs. They've got built-in Ethernet. They got all sorts of stuff. It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Let's see here. Roadhouse is not to mention Microsoft's increasingly heavy focus on Kinect and other casual initiatives at the end. Also, sup everyone. That actually helped them out. Kinect at the end, Kinect was actually very popular and helped them sell systems as well. So that wasn't necessarily a negative. The negative with Kinect was in the Xbox One era. That's where Kinect screwed them, at least at first. You know, what they tried to do. But no, in the 360 era, Kinect was actually seen as not great, but it was cool to play with your family and friends, you know, like sit there and, you know, dance around. Kinect Adventures sold like 20 million or something like that, something crazy. That's like Rare's most successful game before Sea of Thieves. So yeah. Let's see here. PS3 was the only PlayStation console I didn't have. 360 and Halo, COD, Gears. Oh, you didn't have the PS3. Oh man, that's one of the best consoles ever made. The fat PS3. I gotta agree with Mystic Ryan when he said it's like one of the best. He said it's the best. Listen. It's not my GOAT, but I'll keep it a buck. The fat PS3 is definitely in the top 5 for sure. 100% in the top 5 for me. I think it's Sony's best system. Like if you just say, put a gun to my head, don't actually do it though, and you say which one would be like the best system, I'd probably say like overall with everything that it can do, games, features, everything, I'd say PS3. I'd probably say PS3. Fat PS3. Fat big boy PS3. Big boy PS3. Just that one though. Not the other ones. Gotta have the ones with the backwards compatibility. Hey, what's up, Sly Ryan? Welcome to the stream. How you guys doing today? First of all, okay, hold up. Real quick though, guys. Let's get a vibe check. How's everybody feeling today? You had a good day, you had a bad day. Let's get some vibe checks going here. Let me know how you guys are feeling on this Friday night, good or bad. If you guys want me to give you some advice, if you're not feeling so good, let me know. If not, you can just complain to me and I'm more than here to listen to it like a therapist. So let's get a vibe check real quick. I know we're talking games. Don't worry, we'll get to the games tonight, guys. It's going to be a long stream. I know we're going to rack up these combos because like my man right now, Shaw X with the $10 and says with the JoJo boys, and he says, big homie, what's good? Yeah, the fat PS3 is goated. Yeah. Hey, what up, big homie? Big Shaw X. in the house. What's up, Shaw, man? I appreciate you, brother. I know you've been coming around for a while now. Just want to give you some flowers right now, man, because you've been supporting, coming here, chatting with everybody, staying a long time. So I appreciate your continued support on the channel, brother. I really do. Thank you. Thank you for that. Let's get that JoJo's. You guys know what it is. JoJo's. We get that extra point on JoJo Fridays. You know how we do it. Thank you guys for your support tonight. I appreciate that. Shaw X getting the dono started. Appreciate you, Shaw X. But yeah, vibe check, my boy. Vibe check. Vibe check. How we doing tonight? I still remember Dance Central. Yeah, Dance Central. That was a big one. That was a big one. For the Connect. It was just they tried to gimmick it too much. You can only gimmick too much, man. I'm telling you. You can't do back-to-back crazy gimmicks. One time, if you get a gimmick and it works, that's fine. You know, just, you know, do it. But don't try to copy that same gimmick. It's not going to work the second time. People are going to get tired of it. PS3 is great. Library is great because we both got Japanese and Western Sony. That's true. Yeah, Sony Japan, that was probably their best era was PS3, or one of their best eras. Rena Habag is here. Hey, what's up, Rena? Welcome to the stream, young lady. Political channel. What's good? Good. Took some edibles. Watched the Wolves Nuggets game later. Chilling. All right. I like the vibe check. Sly Rice says, doing good, sir. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good. I can't complain. I mean, busted turbocharger in the car, but outside of that, I'm good, man. Outside of that, I'm good. But no, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. You got to take care of it. You gotta do what you got to do, man. Samurai Vader, what's up, Samurai Vader? Welcome to the stream. Said I had kind of a crappy day. Comcast being a real pain at work didn't help, man. Comcast and pain at work is like hand in hand. Comcast been being douchey since forever, prehistoric days. So yeah, I feel you on that one, Party Man. At least it's over, right? You home, you good, you know. You get weekends off, right, Party Man, or do you work weekends? Shucks, no doubt you're a big relief from all the negativity in these YouTube streets. Hey, shout outs though. I appreciate you, Shaw X. Yo, Christian, what's up, man? Thank you so much, Shaw. I appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. Thank you for that. Jojo. Let's see here. Did DS and 3DS have same gimmick? DS? No, they didn't, and I'll tell you the reason why. David V with the lucky 7.
Sup, OJ? How's your day today?
Good.
I'm tired lately, but doing good.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's right. You're getting into the dog days of summer coming up, depending on where you live. And yeah, make sure you guys hydrate, get enough water, rest. I mean, you're gonna need it because obviously these summer months coming up, everything's gonna be more expected. Everyone's trying to move up. Everyone's trying to get better at everything. So I always say, man, you got to be on your absolute best during the summer. You know, because if you're not on your absolute best, if you're not eating good, you're not exercising, you're not doing whatever, as soon as you want to go to the beach or as soon as you want to do something and you start looking down at yourself, you're like, oh, snap. So now's the time. It's May, June, July. Start getting into the rhythm so we can all, I mean, if you need to lose weight or if you need to, you know, do whatever, or if you need to get certain stuff done, get it all done now so you can have a little bit of time in the summer, you know, and feel a bit better. So that's what I'm doing. I'm cutting out a few different foods that I usually eat. Cutting out some extra sugar and stuff like that. So yeah, man. Let's see here. Shout outs, but thank you so much, David V. I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the support. Let's get you another point on there because of the special lucky 7 dono. So we'll get that up to 5 on the board. Thank you so much, David V. Appreciate that. Now let me get to your comment. The DS and the 3DS didn't necessarily have the same gimmick. The 3DS had 3D. The DS did not. The dual screen, yeah, that was one gimmick, okay, but that wasn't the big gimmick heading into the 3DS. That was already seen as standard, the dual screens. That wasn't anything special. What was special was the 3D. That was the gimmick. That was the big gimmick with the 3DS when they were marketing it. Not the dual screens. That was like, okay, dual screens or 2 screens, okay, big deal. We've had that now for a hot minute, you know. So it was really more of the 3D. Let's see here. Wasting my time with multiplayer games right now, but I'm going to go through some of my backlogs. Some Metal Gear Rising and original FF7. Man, that backlog's deep. Sortable Shelf says, I'm good. Made some good progress on some art stuff. Game I helped work on. Got around to pre-ordering 1,000 Year Door today. All right, there you go. Yeah. Oh, no, not the turbo. yeah, the turbo. Yeah, it's pricey, bro. I didn't even want to hear the price. That price was, I was like, dang. But hey, look, it happens, man. The car is kind of old now, man. I'm probably going to think about maybe getting something new next year or something like that. So we'll see. I'm off on weekends, but next week is my on-call shift. Not gonna be fun yet because you know somebody's gonna call. Yep. Epic says PS3 was one of my first consoles when my brother got one and got me into console gaming. Nice, nice. Do you think Microsoft will recover from reveal a new Banjo? I don't think a new Banjo is gonna make them recover. I don't think Microsoft's fan base does not care about Banjo, so that's not gonna help them recover. No. I don't think there's anything that they can do. It's now in corporate's hands. We're gonna go over what I said on Twitter. Here's what I said on Twitter, guys. If you missed what I said on Twitter, a lot of people, I didn't get quote tweeted a million times by the Xbox community. So now I know I said something that they really can't argue against. But here's what I said on Twitter. I said this, because there was an article that said IGN spoke with 2 Xbox employees about the situation, the whole situation that's going on now, like Tango shutting down and all that. They said they think that it was most likely a board decision rather than Phil's, but Phil needs to fix it before Xbox will lose its soul. Quote, it's no longer Xbox, but Microsoft game. This was an article on IGN. So then I wrote this. I said, Microsoft's upper management gave Phil Spencer 10 years and $100 billion to turn things around. Xbox Series sales are below Xbox One, and the game output has been objectively bad. Not terrible, not the worst ever, but objectively bad with 2 droughts of up to 1.5 years. If you count 2022 and now this year, they had 2 separate droughts in a console that's not even 4 years old yet, of at totaling up 1.5 years. Listen, okay? But anyway, I didn't put that, but I'm just saying Xbox Series are below Xbox One and their game output has been objectively bad. That was my reasoning behind it. Time's up. This is my tweet. Time's up. Upper MS management has lost their patience. This sucks, but it is what it is. And that's what I think is happening, man. Management is like, no, we're not going to be sitting here funding all this stuff from Tango. What did they do? I know this, guys. I used to work in cutthroat business. This is sitting you down and firing your butt. I've been fired before. This is sitting down, no remorse in their eyes, no nothing, X's and O's. Business, that's it. Not about the families or not about, it's cutthroat. They just said, we're going to do this. And the decision was obviously made. It probably caught them off guard because they were on Twitter congratulating them a couple months ago. They were on Twitter saying Tango's this and that and awards and all that. So it probably was one of those things comes from upper brass. They said, no, we cutting this. This is how we're going to make money. We gave you $100 billion. We gave you your reign. We gave you your Game Pass. We need to sell games. And none of this nonsense, all this Game Pass and all this stuff. No, we need to be where people are buying games. Plain and simple, you know? Plain and simple. We need to be where they're buying games. So I think that's what happened. Microsoft definitely got Nutella or whatever that guy said, Satella or whatever his name is. He sat them down and said, enough is enough. We gave you infinite resources, infinite money. You haven't provided a single game of the year winner in 10 years. You've barely provided any games that have been 90 plus rated. You've barely provided, yeah, you've got profits, but we're not up to where we want to be. You said this thing's going to grow. This Game Pass thing's going to grow. It hasn't. It's stagnant. We're at the same. And now you got a bunch of companies just making Game Pass games and they don't actually increase the amount. We got to start selling games on Switch, Nintendo, PlayStation, because this is stupid. Not everything's stagnant. We're a business. We're not your fun plaything. It's over. We're making decisions. These guys, they don't make nothing that sells. They're gone. These guys right here, they made a flop. That game sucks. Nobody liked it. They're gone. They trying to pitch all these expensive games. Nope, out of here. All these people over here that are making this stupid mobile game. No, go make Elder Scrolls. Go make Elder Scrolls because that makes us a ton of money. Elder Scrolls Online makes us a ton of money. So all those guys, some of them who's good, we keep them. Everybody else, gone. And they got up and walked out the room. And Phil Spencer was probably just like this. I guarantee you that's what happened. As somebody who's been in those rooms where you've got these business dudes that just make decisions and they don't give a damn about those families. They don't give a damn about none of that. They said, no, X's and O's, money. This is it. That's what happened, bro. And Phil had to make the hard decision, you know? Let's see here. Nick93 says, after 75 billion, Microsoft wants results now. That's what I'm saying. They actually wanted results back then, but they're tired of all this leeway and all this nonsense. Like, for them, they just see it as that. Thank you for the $1.99. They don't, it's none of this, you know, ha-ha, rah-rah, parasocial relationship. They're probably looking at all that stuff too, like, what the hell are you guys doing? Stop sitting here and talking to everybody and all this nonsense. Y'all need to figure out how to sell some games and how to sell Game Pass. This is not good enough. I can guarantee you that's what they said. This is not good enough. We gave you guys too much money, like $100 billion. Microsoft, $70 billion for Activision, $4 billion for Bethesda. Let's not forget Ninja Theory and all the other developers they bought in the Xbox One era. Let's not forget all of those too. This is the second wave. So they've spent, I mean, Microsoft gave them about $100 billion, a bit under $100 billion of acquisitions in 10 years. And they've got zero metaphorical dubs to show for it. I'm not trying to hate on Xbox. I bought every single Xbox. I've bought plenty of games. This is not any hate. I don't buy Game Pass. I actually buy the games. So in a degree, I'm not the one who's causing this because I'm buying the games. I'm actually buying, they're getting the royalties. I'm buying games. But anyway, that's beside the point. The point is that Microsoft is done with this nonsense, you know. Hindsight, I don't think Game Pass was a good idea overall. I think it's great for the consumer, which is great. But is it great for the consumer if you're not getting the level of quality that you could have got if people actually bought games? And that's the problem that people have. Like, it's hard to make that distinction. If there was no Game Pass, would it be like the Xbox 360 era? Maybe. We don't know. But we'll see. Let's see here. To be fair, they shouldn't have to care. Business needs to make money. To be fair, they shouldn't. Who shouldn't have to care, Huddy? Are you talking about consumers? I agree. Or who are you talking about? What's up, Superpower Man? Welcome to the stream, buddy. What's up, Madonna Mario? What's up, Patch Universe? They need to cut the CEO salaries like Japanese culture. Cutting salaries ain't gonna do anything. You know, Phil can cut a salary that don't make up for what. This isn't necessarily about money. This is about the future. No, what I mean, it's not about salary cutting to take blame. It's about somebody taking the. You ever heard the expression "grab the bull by the horns"? That's what Microsoft is doing right now. They're grabbing the bull by its horns. You know what I'm saying? It's not about, oh, you guys are this, you don't deserve this or that. They tried. Upper management believed in their vision at first. They got every resource that they needed to get. But not at this point, after 10 years and $100 billion, and like I said, zero metaphorical dubs, as in, no, you never won a console war. You never had the highest selling console. You never really won MPD. I don't ever recall them winning MPD. You won nothing in Japan. They never had a Game of the Year. Did they even have an exclusive as a Game of the Year candidate? I mean, if you count like Psychonauts, right? They bought Double. They also bought Double Fine. They buy in indie studios. They bought Double Fine. So I guess you can count that. But they never really had anything that's like homegrown. Gears, Halo. None of that was in like the real Game of the Year or winning Game of the Year, right? Nintendo had one. Even though they've only had one, but they had one obviously with Breath of the Wild, but they've had multiple nominees, at least like nominees for Game of the Year. Sony's won a few, obviously third parties have won quite a number, but when it comes to Keeley Awards, but they've never had that boost that you get when your game wins Game of the Year, that built-in advertising. So that's the problem right now. You've got 10 years and you've got zero metaphorical wins. You know, you've got zero, and I think that's the problem, along with once again, no growth in Game Pass. It's just stagnant. There's no growth, you know. So yeah, that's a problem. I know there's a lot of comments here, guys. I just see a wall of text. I'm so sorry. I haven't been able to get to everybody's comments, but I'm gonna try to catch up. Let me read. If you guys can tag me too, if you really want me to read your comment, if you can put @PlayerEssence, that'll really help me read the comments. If you guys really want me to read your comment out loud. But if you want to just make a comment, just to make a comment, I'll try to get to it too. Or if you just want to talk to people in the chat, that's cool too. Don't sugarcoat it. Xbox management is pure nonsense. No, I mean, it's not even about being sugarcoated, Superpower Man. Like, I see what you're saying, but it's like they've done some good things. Like, there's some good things that they've done. At the end of the day, I mean, Xbox One still sold more than the as much as the Super Nintendo. I mean, obviously different eras, but I mean, like, there was still some good. But obviously, you don't want to sell 50 million in today's time. That's not very good. 3DS sold way more than that, you know. So yeah. Let's see here. Dragon Age Inquisition 10 years ago. That wasn't a Microsoft-owned company. Yeah, I never said that it was. Yeah. Dragon Age won 2014. Yeah, although Bayonetta 2 should have won, but that's okay. You know. I was a loyal Xbox user up until Xbox when they went downhill fast. Yeah, the Xbox One was the issue that I had too. These decisions are fully made by how do you say his name? Not Sarah Bond or Phil Spencer. Sarah looked uncomfortable in that interview. She did. Yeah, these are definitely made by I'm just gonna say upper management, because I mean it's him and it's other people too, right? Nintendo had a nominee every year except 2016 and 2018. Yeah, that's pretty good. That's what they're looking for. You're just looking to be in the race. I mean, you don't have to win the Super Bowl every single year or win the playoffs every single year, but like they just want you to get there, you know? Minato Mario with the $3. Thank you so much, Minato Mario.
Just minor correction to Christian Me World's donation last stream.
Okay.
Kenichi Haji-san ideographic period is not hi OJ, Dad. It means hi Uncle. Correct way of saying is Kenichi OJ-san ideographic period. Anyway, yeah, from this Xbox downfall, shows that never trust any major Western VG companies. Lol.
Shout outs to Minato Mario dropping the Japanese knowledge on our heads. Let's get some emotes from our man Minato Mario out here slanging. I like that. Yo, thank you Minato Mario for the $3, brother. And yeah, Western companies, brother. Satiana. That's way too much, bro. There's too many syllables. That's way too much. I'm gonna just say that Nutella dude. I'm gonna call him Nutella. That's way too many damn syllables. The PR answer for closing the Tego Gameworks Sarah Bond was so bad. You could tell uncomfortable she was answering it. Yeah, it was bad. Let's see here. What's up, 7th Hokage? What's up, Patch? Yeah, Sarah, she looked terrible. But then people tried to sit there and troll her like she was the one, like fire her, like it's her fault that Tango got cooked, you know? It's better for them to restructure than to not make games that blow us away. I think that probably what they should do is I would say restructure, and I would make different tiers of Game Pass to where, like, you know, you get certain tiers. Like, you got to make Game Pass more expensive. Like, if you want everything, you got to make Game Pass more expensive. You got to make it lower tiers, and you got to give incentives for people to actually buy games. Or you got to go all out on Xbox and Nintendo. Like, Switch 2, you should be putting everything on Switch 2. Like, if you want to continue doing Game Pass the way that you're going to do Game Pass, that's fine. But everything needs to be on Switch 2. Everything needs to be on PlayStation 5. Everything needs to be on PC. And it all needs to be day and date. So, I mean, if you want to do this Game Pass thing, that's fine. But if you're going to live and die by the sword of Game Pass, you need to put your games on everything else. And, like, you need to do it, like, now or yesterday. You know, that's what I would say. If they're going to go down, everything's on Game Pass. Don't raise the price. Okay. But that's what they got to do because nothing's getting cheaper, you know? Let's see here. LOL, the Streamlabs voice bot even read out the grammar marks. Yeah. It does a good job. They try to evolve it. Feel like Phil Spencer's just being silent because shots are coming down from above him via MS CEO, but Spencer deserves blame too. Yeah, I think they might have put like a little like gag on him, like a gag order. Like, it's not really a gag order, but you guys know what I mean. Like, don't say anything. Like, just shut up. You know? Like, they might have just said like, just none of you guys talk, because none of them are talking. None of them are talking. So I think they probably just said, all of you guys, shut the hell up. You know, and just do your job. And we're gonna do this. We're gonna be involved because we're done, you know? Now they need results. You bought $70 billion. Okay, now we need results, you know? Let's see here. Game Pass isn't special, they just overwhelmed with choices. That's been the biggest issue that I've had, Jay Loomis. It's not special to me. It's just a bunch of games that I don't have time to play. So, like I said, if you're a child, Game Pass is goated. Like, if you're a little child, or if you're curious about, or you don't know what to play half the time, or you got a lot of time on your hands and you're very curious about games and you don't necessarily know what you'll like until you try it out, Game Pass is goated. but that is a small sect of people. A lot of old gamers, guys that have been playing games for 10, 20, 30, 40 years, we kind of know what we want. We don't need a tester's taste of this and that and that. We can, and also a lot of guys that are, you know, if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, you don't have a lot of time to play games. You don't have a ton of time to play games, so you don't have time to be shifting through Game Pass, you know? You just don't, because if you like PlayStation or if you like Nintendo or you like PC or whatever, you're going to be playing and picking up games. You're going to be buying games. If you're a physical collector, Game Pass is not appealing. Which listen, Nintendo talked about this. I got a video that's coming later. Physical's still here. Sony likes to sit there and try to hide the physical number. Sony try to hide the physical numbers. A lot of Sony fans like physical games. People try to seem like Sony's like all digital. No, the hell it's not. No, the hell it's not. Dude, there is millions upon millions upon millions of gamers who love buying physical games on PlayStation. That still do. Now, yes, it's not up to the level of Nintendo, but it's still there. Don't sit here and tell me that Sony gamers don't like buying physical. BS. BS. There was tons of people posting their pictures of Stellar Blade on social media the other day. I saw hell people buying The Last of Us and posting the actual physical disc of it, especially when they get those discounts, you know? So, absolutely not. Like I said, Sony likes to sit there and make it seem as if all digital. But no, the reality of it is that a lot of people like physical. So Game Pass it's not appealing to someone who likes physical games, you know? Let's see here. Kind of like dating. Yeah. Let's see. Nor do I always want to play games like I used to. That's true. I honestly, I don't want to sit down and play games all day because I can't. One, I got a boy. I got a wife. I got a family. You know, I got, got a daughter. You know, and I've got you guys, and I've got this that I got to edit. But even when I do get time, sometimes I'm just too tired, man. Half the time I'm just too tired. I'm old. Thank you for the donos though, guys. We're almost at the first combo breaker for a 10-minute extension on the stream. Let's go. Game Pass is great if you use Microsoft Rewards. I've had a subscription for 4 years and have not paid a dime using Microsoft reward points. It's all digital, no physical. So that's great, but there's no physical whatsoever. No physical whatsoever. You know, so that's my problem that I have. I can see your comments, Mr. Davis. What's good? The sad reality is that lifetime Switch sales in Japan can compare to Xbox Series console lifetime. Yeah, that's crazy, Matt. That's why I enjoy sub-service. My backlog has been so long. I've missed a lot of older games. Good place to find good older selection. Sure. Microsoft will be fine, but at this point, you think that the Xbox brand can recover? I don't think so. Such a relief to hear Nintendo talk about physical games. Yes, I got a big video on that soon. Yo, shout outs to Massive Rican with the Toby Buster. Let's go. And we got some more donos coming in too.
Nintendo won't devalue VGs as a whole, not just their games, by allowing Game Pass on their platform.
No, they won't. They absolutely won't. They absolutely will not. I'm going to get you a 4-pointer for that one. Thank you so much, Massive Rican, for the big dono. Super JoJo boys today. Toby Blaster in the house. And we got a couple other donos coming in as well. Thank you guys for your support. Already, we've got our first combo breaker. Let's go. You guys give some big love to Massive Rican. He is now the Hokage and Stream Ninja. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate that. Massive Rican out here. And yeah, Nintendo's not going to allow that on there. They're not going to allow it. So yeah, I agree with you on that one. So Sony's not going to allow it either. Sony's not going to allow it either. So yeah, anybody does more than 19,092 cents, you can beat out Massive Rican. Thank you for the big dono, dude, on JoJo Fridays. Let's go. Anybody does more than that, you can beat him out. Appreciate that, though. Seriously. I think I already said that once. But thank you so much. Massive Rican. And Nick93 with another dono. Thank you so much, Nick. Appreciate that. And I'm going to read it off right after this. Sorry, Shinru came in with the 5.
Streamed Hades 2 today for 5 hours after doing many chores yesterday.
Okay.
Man, I was so exhausted yesterday I didn't even play games. Felt good doing so today.
Yeah.
Can you play a track from Hades 1 or 2? Excellent boss.
Yes.
You finna play it too, OJ? When you got time.
Yeah, I have have what's it called? I have Hades too. I just haven't started it. I just haven't started it yet, but I have Hades. I have Hades too. But thank you so much, Shinner, with the $5. Nick93 comes in. Says Xbox with the $4.99. Says Xbox needs to go to PS Studio route. Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Santa Monica, Sucker Punch, etc. They all have support and market each other's games. Family vibes. Yeah. KC Skills, thank you for the $4.99. Mr. Nick93, thank you for the donos tonight, man. KC Skills, thank you for the 16 months of membership, dude. Seriously, appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you guys for the JoJo's and the support tonight. So yeah. Physical is dying. It's just inevitable right now. No, it's not. Samurai Ronin, no, it's not. No, it's not dying. That's the funny thing. It's not dying. The numbers have leaked out, bro. The numbers are leaked out. Plenty of Sony people are buying physical. Sony physical does way better than what Sony would let you believe it does. And Nintendo, they're saying that they're going to double down on physical. Look at the Nintendo World Championships. Look at that little crappy, no, it's not crappy, but that little, NES games, NES remix ROM hack stuff. They made a physical for that. And people are buying the hell out of it because they added a bunch of things. And Nintendo even stated that they are going to maximize their efforts. Physical's not dying. That's what the media wants you to believe. That's what PC gamers want you to believe, but it ain't the actual truth. If millions upon millions upon millions of people are still buying physical, it's not dying. Partyman says the amount of times I just want to come home and relax instead of playing something that happens a lot. Yeah, that's without kids. Seriously. I messed up. It was supposed to be Kirby 19. Oh no, it's all good. It's all good. Thank you, Massive Rican. I understand why people want Xbox to be third party like Sega. Without Xbox, PS would be monopolizing everything. They wouldn't be monopolizing everything because no matter what people want to believe, Nintendo's still competition for them, especially with this new system coming out, and Steam is still big competition as well. Plus the mobile market, like everything still competes. Right now, everyone's saying they have no competition. Okay, well then why is Sony sales down year on year? Why are they still not selling as much as they would want to sell too? So there's a lot more competition between Steam Decks and Nintendo and PC and all sorts of stuff. So no, that's actually, once again, not true. It's just people saying things that don't actually know the business. But no, I don't want Microsoft to go third party. Let's see. And to be honest, the best just to forget Xbox. Look forward to Switch 2. I'm eager to disappointment. Switch 2 is going to fail. I don't think people are going to make Switch 2 is going to fail videos. Not like last time. Nah, I'm not going to play home mode. I don't even know what that is. People in general have subscriber fatigue. Yep. Kraken Jack says, I've been going through another Krebs Treasure, just got update. It's actually running way better on Switch. Don't worry, OJ, this is Souls-like. That has a pause button. Yeah, that's good, but I ain't playing it. I'm good on that. Under the Sea. It's like that Little Mermaid game. You play as Sebastian. So yeah. Physical might die, might outlive Game Pass at this rate. It will. I think physical will. Let me tell you guys something right now. Everyone said it's all digital, all digital. Okay, then if all digital is taking over and all that, is there a reason why Game Pass is not blowing up? What's the reason why? Microsoft is the king of all digital. If everybody's all about all digital and renting games and you don't need to own anything and all digital, why is Game Pass not doing what it's doing? Why isn't Game Pass not bodying PlayStation and Nintendo? Because Microsoft is all about all digital, right? Okay. So then if all digital is, oh my God, it's killing everything, why is Sony and Nintendo still selling hella physical games? Okay. Because Game Pass is super digital. That's all digital. That's digital extreme, right? So, I don't know. Y'all tell me. Y'all tell me. Let's see here. Let's see. Why are you scared to say it's crappy? Scared to say what's crappy? What, the NES thing? No, because it looks cool. I'm not scared to say it's crappy. I'm saying no, because it actually looks. I think it's gonna be good. It's the same. Those games aren't bad. Like the NES games are good, so it's not crappy. I just meant like crappy as in like old school ghetto graphics. That's what I meant crappy. So I didn't want to make sure. I want to make sure that I'm not like saying, oh yeah, The Legend of Zelda and like freaking these classic NES games that people love. Those aren't crappy. I mean, I played them. They're good games. It's just like crappy as in like the graphics and obviously all that, right? It's just a little like ROM hack thing. So I want to make sure that I'm clear on that. Oh, cool. We got Stellar Blade music in the rotation now. Let's go. That's 18 minutes long though. It's too long. All right. Let's see. I buy everything physical. I work too hard for my money to give it to Cloud Digital. Yup. What's up, OJ? All's been well. I'm glad to actually word with Nintendo on the success stuff and no more speculation. Soul Silver and Heart Gold remakes need to be a launch title. Yeah, that's not going to be a launch title. No. But yeah, that'd be cool, but it's not happening. Game Pass is a service. I don't like supporting the service. Okay. Do you think people are wishing up what an all-digital future, clinging to more physical as a result? I think people like physical because you still get something. You know, I think in the distant future, yeah, it'll be all digital in the distant future, but there'll still be specialty stores that get you physical. There'll still be always, like, for example, people still sell like the vinyl records. Look, I mean, I got one right here. Look. Like, people don't, Atlas sent me this. So, and I know everybody's not buying the vinyls and all that, but it's still like coming back. Like, you can go to like certain stores in the mall right now and they'll have a ton of records that people are actually buying, like on vinyl. Atlas sent me this a while back. Okay. So it's like people are, sometimes the media that people think is old and out of like style, people still want to get it, you know? Let's see here. KC with the $1.99 says, agree, buy physical for big first-party Switch games. Yep. Yeah. I always say with Nintendo, big first-party Nintendo games, you should always buy physical. I think big first-party Sony games that are like single-player, buy physical. And big, big first-party Nintendo games, buy physical. That's what I always say, but especially Nintendo games, buy physical. If you bought all the big first-party Nintendo games physical on the GameCube, you'd have a ton of money right now. Like, let's just say you bought one copy, then you bought a copy and kept it sealed. Do you know how much money you'd have? You know how much money you'd accumulate if you were able to get every single one new and one sealed, one sealed and then one to play? Oh my God, bruh. So, did I say Switch 2? My bad. Well, yeah, you should buy Switch 2 games physical, but Switch 1 games, you should buy them physical as well. Thank you so much, KC. Thank you for the dono, man. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I think there'll be more neutral videos about Switch 2, but I'm sure there'll still be some disappointed given the unrealistic expectations on Switch 2. And that's fine. Let them. Who cares? Notice how PC gamers never bring up Nintendo when they debate how exclusives and physical are dying. Yeah, they don't bring up Nintendo. Why would they bring up Nintendo? It completely derails their argument. They're not in competition. Nintendo's this, they're that, blah, blah, blah. It's like, of course. Why would they bring up Nintendo? That would just make their argument look bad. Let's see here. My YouTube profile picture. That was a person that made it. Some physical games become rare too. Some, a lot. Watch my buy now before rare series. As dumb as this sounds, I'm excited to see how Nintendo brands the next console. Game boxes look. Yeah, that's always interesting. It doesn't really sound dumb. Everyone's always interested in like what the name, the look, the style, like how's it gonna be like, right? Because like Wii U, it was like a blue, like a light blue or powder blue, like a darker powder blue. GameCube was obviously, I think it was like obviously like black and purple. The boxes were kind of weird, but like black purple. Wii, it was white with the blue. So Switch obviously red. So yeah, I'm interested to see what they do here too. I think as long as Nintendo has game consoles, there'll be physical media. Physical media is part of Japanese culture. They sell everything physical, not just games. That's true. That is true. That is true. I just like having a game in its mind. Also, if I want to sell everything 10 years, I can, especially Nintendo games because they usually go up. Yep. Looking at the old game case instantly brings back memories and it's enjoyable. That's what I lost with digital. Plus, can't sell a collection for thousands if I want it. Exactly. You lose that with digital. Not everybody wants to be able to do that. Some people don't care about being able to sell it or about any of that type of stuff, which is fine. You don't have to care about selling your games. You don't have to care about that. But to sit there and say that it's dying, that nobody's buying it, it's like that's just propaganda. That's just false, you know. Will Square Enix give more support AAA games for Switch 2? Yes. I miss the instruction manuals they used to make. Yeah, me too. Xbox should have done like Valve and the Steam Deck OG. Well, I mean, I don't know if that was the situation. I don't know if that was the biggest problem. I think the biggest problem was that, here's the thing though, guys. Let me tell you guys something. Have you guys ever been part of a friend group or part of something? And I think some people might even think this happened to my own channel. But have you ever been part of something and you guys had success, things were good, or let's say your job, right? You guys had like a team, and you guys had a certain team that you work with, 4 to 5 people, or maybe even more, and then people kept on adding things and adding things and adding things, and some people left and things got rearranged. And by the time that you look back years down the line, you look back at what you used to be or what used to happen, you think, we've lost our identity. We're no longer us. And I think that's what happened with Microsoft. When you start adding in an entity as big as Activision Blizzard, you start adding in Bethesda, you start adding in all these people that have their own egos, their own multi-million selling games, their own way of doing things, you lose what you actually are. What is Xbox? To me, Xbox is just like a third-party company. It's no longer Xbox. It's no longer Halo, Gears, Fable, Forza. Now it's like, oh, they're kind of a third-party publisher. They're not. They've got some first-party games. Sometimes they publish on. You lose who you are. You lose that identity. And I think that was the big downfall. That's the biggest downfall to me. The biggest, outside of, the Xbox One reveal and how they did that. That was the biggest mistake. But the second biggest was buying up everything. Instead of doubling down and saying 10 toes down, as Chris Broussard would say on First Things First. 10 toes down. Double down. Be a man. Be a woman. Be a woman. Be a man. Man up and work on your craft. Instead, you think that you're the Yankees. You can buy championships. You can just spend as much money as possible and become the GOAT. You can't do that. Michael Jordan didn't become the GOAT because he spent $1 bazillion on himself. That's not how it worked. It's because he worked hard on his craft. It's because he studied the game and who came before him. He didn't spend $1 billion to be the best. Some athletes will do that, right? But in order to be the best, in order to be top of your craft, you've got to put the time in, man. Christian Miro with the Zhao.
It's JoJo Friday.
Yes, sir.
What's up, OJ in chat?
What up?
I finally created my own YouTube channel.
Oh.
It's called Crossing Worlds. I talk about the latest news in gaming there. I was about to go live to talk about the Xbox chaos when you went live.
Okay.
You're more important. Lol.
Hey, shout outs, man. I'll definitely check out your channel for sure. Make sure you guys give this man some love over on his channel when it comes down to it. Thank you so much. I did get you an extra point as well for JoJo Fridays. 3 points on JoJo Fridays with the $10 JoJos. So thank you. I appreciate that, man. Switch up with another $1 to get us to the combo breaker. Let's go. 20 on the combo board. Yo, I appreciate that. Shout out to Christian Miro. Check out his channel as well. Christian, you can put it in the, I think you're a mod, right? You can put it in the chat. Switch it up with the $. Says, pull up all the Xbox games on Switch. You mean to tell me that I can get all Xbox games and then pay $20 a year instead of $60 or $80? Xbox console might as well hang itself. No, I mean, some games you can. You know,
it's not Xbox. It's Microsoft Gaming, since they spent $100 billion plus.
Okay.
Joe's no longer in the driver's seat. He's got a wife smacking him backseat driving.
No, you can't do that yet. But I mean, Switch 2, maybe. Is that what you're saying? Switch it up? So Switch 2, maybe they're going to be able to do that. Maybe. Okay, so I see what you're saying. Switch it up. Okay, so Switch 2, maybe you're going to be able to play all the Xbox games or whatever. Okay, thank you for the $, man. I appreciate that. Big love to switch up. Switch it up. Massive Rican with the, lucky 7. I think this was for the lucky 7 dono. Let's get that extra point for the special lucky 7 dono. Let's go. 22 on the board. Also, Relk, thank you for the subscription, man. Appreciate that. But yeah, you're absolutely right about that, Massive Rican. You know, and you just extended your Stream Ninja lead too. Thank you so much, dude. Or sorry, Hokage lead. Let's just get you with the cool 27 on there. Thank you so much, man. $27. Anybody that's 27 or more, you bid up Massive Rican on the board. 20 to beat him out on the Stream Ninja. But yeah, man, Microsoft, definitely he's out of the driver's seat. Phil Spencer is out of the driver's seat. He's not, you know, he's not in the driver's seat anymore, you know? So I'm glad I bought the third-party games for the Switch, because never buy third-party games. The Nintendo agenda was so worn out. It depends on what game it is, man. But I see what you're saying though, Matt. Like the narrative out there, which was, I mean, there's some truth to it, but you know, not at this point with the Switch. I mean, we obviously saw like a lot of third-party games do pretty well. And Michael Jordan didn't go to the Lakers, Celtics, or any powerful team just to win an NBA championship. He single-handedly created the Bulls dynasty. He didn't single-handedly create the Bulls dynasty. He was the most important player, But if you really want to know about the Bulls dynasty, I definitely check out seeing the Last Dance documentary. But I see what you're saying. He was the most important. He was the most. Without Jordan, they don't win all those championships. But they really needed Scottie Pippen. They really needed Phil Jackson, and they really, really needed like Horace Grant. Those were like the guys. That was the original big three, right? Scottie Pippen, Horace Grant, Michael Jordan. They really needed those guys. And Paxton hit a shot one time to win one of the championships. But yeah, Jordan. But Pippen, you got to remember in their first championship that the Bulls won, Jordan couldn't guard Magic Johnson. He was getting cooked. And then they switched Scottie Pippen over to Magic and they switched Scottie over to Magic, and Scottie locked Magic Johnson up, locked him up, and then they won their first title. And then it was just kind of like they won 3 in a row, or they won 2 more after that, so 3 in a row. And then obviously Jordan's dad passed away, was murdered, so he quit for a while, played baseball, then came back, was a little bit out of shape, lost. But then came back with vengeance and won 3 more. But yes, you're absolutely right about that. The Bulls, Michael Jordan, and yeah, he never went to the Lakers. He never said, "I'm going to go join the Lakers," or "I'm going to go join, the Pistons," or "I'm going to go join the Celtics." He never did all that. He said, "I'm building it right here. I know what I have. I believe in this team, this city," and that's what Microsoft should have done. Been like Jordan, 10 toes down, 10 toes down, baby. He could have left too after his rookie contract. He could have left. Jordan could have left, and he said, "No, 10 toes down. We're gonna do this. We're gonna do it here. I'm gonna make it work here." And Microsoft did not do 10 toes down. Microsoft definitely LeBron James, just without the championships. So definitely LeBron James, just without the championships. So we call, I don't know, maybe we call Microsoft, we call him Karl Malone or something like that. Trying to move around, trying to get that championship, didn't get it. So we call him Karl Malone. Let's see here. He did join the Wizards. Go check out the YouTube channel on why Jordan joined the Wizards and the deal that got him to actually join the Wizards, because it really wasn't because, okay, he just wants to come back and play. It was like a whole business thing with that. So go check that out if you get the opportunity, because there's a lot of stuff that was behind closed doors that y'all don't know about with Jordan joining the Wizards to come back. It was a lot of stuff. He didn't even really want to. That's the funny thing. He didn't even really want to. He says, nah, Microsoft, Ben Simmons. Ben Simmons got traded, though. Ben Simmons didn't decide to go somewhere else. He got traded. Xbox Karl Malone without the... Oh, okay, hold up. Yeah, I guess maybe that's not the best way of saying it. Hold up. I'm going to just stop right there. Josiah Connor, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. To be fair, he didn't need to. Many players don't get Phil Jackson ever. He didn't need to, but he could have, though. Remember, he was drafted in '84. He didn't win his first title till 1990. His rookie contract was 5 years, if I'm not correct. So he played his 5 years before winning the title. Or the rookie contract was 4 years, if I'm not correct. I think it was like, so he decided to stay. He could have left. So it's not like he was winning titles in the 80s. He didn't get past the bad boy Pistons till 1990. So he was in the league for 6, 7, 8 years. He was in the league for a while. So he could have left. What if the organization failed you instead? If the organization failed you, then that's fine. Then you leave. But he felt that he could make it. I mean, they kind of failed him. They didn't really get him no good players till Scottie Pippen. They didn't really get him anybody great till Scottie Pippen. So the organization wasn't doing much. So yeah. We'll have to see Nintendo's success after and during the GameCube years and the Wii U years. Just going to gloss over the Nintendo, the GBA, the DS, and the 3DS. But yeah, I feel you, Omax. Guess those systems didn't happen, but I feel you though, brother. Showtime Lakers and Boston made quick work of Jordan and waited till he got old. They didn't make quick work of him. Larry Bird said that Jordan was God in sneakers. What you talking about, bro? That ain't no quick work. He was a handful. He was dropping buckets on him. He didn't have no help. He didn't have no help at all, man. The Celtics and the Celtics and the Lakers had stacked Hall of Fame rosters. What you mean? They had stacked Hall of Fame rosters, and that 1990 or that 91 Bulls team, they would have beat some of those Lakers and those Celtic teams. That 93 Bulls team couldn't beat them, even if, like I just said, you said like they couldn't beat them. I think they could have. that 96 Bulls team couldn't beat one of them old Laker teams or those old Celtic teams? I think they could have. So, let's see here. Let's see. I'm a Wizards fan by default. Remember Jordan played here? Yeah, it wasn't that great. Yeah, Jordan was a terrible, not a good owner. Terrible owner. GameCube was legit, man. GameCube was awesome. GameCube was awesome, but obviously they didn't sell as much as people would have wanted. Should we do the Switch 2 Roundup, guys? I think we should get into Switch 2 Roundup. So, if you have not seen my video, make sure you check that out when you get the opportunity. It was a dope video going over a lot of stuff with the Switch 2, like all the confirmed information, the non-confirmed, all that stuff. So it's pretty cool. But we are going to talk about it, everything that you need to know, and some of the stuff that I mentioned. I'm going to go do the Cliff Notes version of it because I got it right here. So what we do have in terms of confirmed information with the Nintendo Switch 2, we've got info will be released obviously in phases. So phases mean there will be distinct certain situations where there will be information that is released. So look forward to that, obviously. And I'm going to go over some more stuff here in just a bit. Sicilian Gamer with the $2. And he says, PlayerEssence could be Cologne 2 copyrighted. PlayerEssence could be a Cologne 2 copyrighted. All right, got you. Maybe. Thank you for that $2. And then Vision with the 72 months. It says the gaming industry's killed. The gaming industry has killed this time of year. It used to be so exciting, waiting to see what has come for the future of consoles. Yeah, man. Feel you on that one, brother. Thank you for the Vision. Long time. 72 months. Goodness gracious, brother. Thank you so much for the support, dude. I appreciate that. 24 on the combo count, guys. We are one combo away from a 25-minute extension on stream. Let's go. Thank you so much. But yeah, let's get into more of this stuff here. Thank you guys for the support. I'll continue doing shout outs as we get contributions. Appreciate you guys. So yeah, they'll release it in phases. So look forward to that probably like later this year, and then early next year we'll get something. Switch 2 is the next iteration of the Switch. So it's a true successor to the platform. It's not a completely different thing. It's not a completely new type of thing, which by the way, there were some people trying to sit there and say Nintendo's stupid, so they're just going to make something completely different. No, that will not be the case. It's going to be a hybrid platform. That's what they say. They essentially, it's going to be an evolution. It's iterate the next Switch, you know? So there's that. The next bit of roundup here is Switch 1 support is still coming. Nintendo does plan to support Switch 1. They might even support Switch 1 into the Switch 2 life cycle. So we will probably get some smaller games here and there for Switch 1. I think like the NES Championship, you know, World Championships, like I think something like that. If that came out next year for like let's say an NES World Championships Part 2, I think that would come out on Switch as well, right? Even if it was like, let's just say next year at the end of the year, I think it'd probably come out, you know, on Switch 1 as well. So yeah, dual support, which would be the first time that Nintendo's really done that level of dual support, if that happens. They usually drop things like a cold turkey. Next up is Switch 2 games will be more complex than Switch 1. So development time, resources are more complex, but Nintendo's looking for ways to optimize development. The last thing here in terms of the confirmed information is scalping issues. There will not be any scalping issues because Nintendo feels that they're going to have way more stock available for people to buy the system. So I'm looking at maybe 5, 8, 10 million systems. It's going to be more than the 2 million that they had at the launch of the Switch. So yeah, expect there to be far more systems this time around. Still might be some scalping, but it shouldn't be as bad as the Switch was. Yeah, it seems like they're not having issues like procuring chips either for the manufacturing. Also, rumor stuff, tech specs are out. Basically, the general gist of it is handheld mode a bit better than PS4 without DLSS. Dock mode right around somewhere between a PS4 Pro, Xbox Series S with better architecture, more modern architecture, and that's before DLSS. So once DLSS kicks in, obviously it could run better, look better, all that good stuff. So that is the rundown of everything that we know about the Nintendo Switch. Check out my video where I go in depth though. Like I actually go way more in depth that if you want to know like all the fine details, which I have linked right there. So make sure you guys put that in your watch later if you haven't seen it yet. All right, let's get some questions and some comments on Switch 2 here. Superpower Man says, for Switch 2, would you rather have Ultimate Deluxe 4K or Smash Soft Reboot? Because I can just play Smash Ultimate backwards compatible on the Switch 2. It'll be backwards compatible, so I don't need it in 4K. It runs at 1080p 60 frames per second. I don't need a 4K. I mean, it would look great. That's awesome. But I mean, like, just backwards compatibility. So yeah. They better work on online multiplayer. They better work on it. They actually already have. If you watch my videos, Nick93, it's called the new NPLN system, which they've already been implementing since Monster Hunter Rise in 2021. So it's one of those things that you write code as you go along. So some games obviously are very good, but some games are not. But it's really going to be based on the netcode in terms of how they do things there. But when it comes to like feature set and all that, we'll see what they do there. But they better. I think some just wish that Nintendo makes something entirely different so they can finally be right on Nintendo being stupid. I don't know. That's like 4D chess. When I don't think there is 4D chess. 3DS has added games from Nintendo in 2017, 2019. Switch support, it makes sense. Switch 2 likely be backwards compatible. Switch install base massive. That's true, but the difference is that they still considered the 3DS and Switch 2 separate devices, right? It wasn't necessarily like, okay, successor, and then you're supporting the previous one. So a little bit different, but I see what you're saying, political. So yeah. If the economy doesn't improve by Switch 2 launch, its sales could struggle early on. I disagree, Alex. And here's the reason why I disagree. Nintendo fans are fiending, are excited, are waiting. They are excited for the Switch 2. So I disagree. I think that if the economy doesn't get better as like later in the year or the following year, then sales could stagger, but not at launch. At launch, you're going to get the hardcore fans that are going to rush out there and buy it. So no, you're not going to see it struggle at launch. That's not going to happen. Most big systems don't struggle at launch. It's afterwards. Even the Wii U was a pretty good launch. Even for that system, it was a pretty good launch. It's really, when it comes to economy stuff, that's like afterwards, after the hardcore gamers get their systems and everybody that wants one, and then you really have to put in like that marketing and the games to really sell the system. That's where it's going to be like, you could see some struggle, but not at launch. No, it's going to be insane. People are going to go wild and people are going to rush out there and buy this system. Let's see here. Well, I'm still here waiting for Prime 2, 3 for the Switch. Look out for the June Nintendo Direct. I think that we could see something there. So GTA 6 on Switch 2, yay or nay? I'm going to go nay right now. Isn't Switch 2 supposed to have graphics as good as the Matrix Showcase thing? No, that's a tech demo. Graphics don't always end up being like, if you have a tech demos don't mean graphics are as good as that. It just means it's a tech demo. Doesn't mean it's going to be as good as that. Tech demos are tech demos. It could be as good, could not be. Just depends. Depends on game to game. Every game's not going to look like the Matrix game. Great video, man. Thank you so much. I appreciate that. When do the Switch 3 rumors start? Tomorrow. Let's see here. 1000 Year J2. Good questions, guys. I don't understand why some think the accounts carrying over doesn't confirm BC. What's the point of carrying accounts if you don't carry over games? The point of that is, I don't know what the point is, but I'm guessing, I think PS3 you could carry over your account from PS3 to PS4, but then there was no backwards compatibility. And like there was, with your games and all that. So I think maybe that is, so maybe you keep your tag that you have, and I don't know, but for Nintendo it doesn't even make more sense. It doesn't make sense because yeah, it would need to be like your games, like Nintendo Switch Online and stuff like that, right? Like a digital library that would carry over. So I'm guessing like at the bare minimum, it would be, if there wasn't like backwards compatibility, it would at least be like, okay, well, it recognizes that you've bought Nintendo Switch Online and like you can have access to Nintendo Switch Online games. That would be like if they weren't doing it, right? But yeah, there really isn't much. If you're not going to have backwards compatibility for your digital like library, like your games and like your accounts, like what's the point of carrying it over? What's the point of having a long-term relationship when nothing carries over, So, but yeah. Does Nintendo lap Xbox and Sony with Switch 2? Lap them. What does lap them mean? I'll be buying a couple consoles for sure. Super excited to see what it looks like. Me too. Dreamcast was sold out. Every system does usually pretty well at the beginning. It's a bit later where things can run into some problems. The hardcore gamers, dude, I've seen people have no money all of a sudden walk. I'm like, wait a minute, you don't have any money? Yeah, I put it on the credit card. I've seen people walk in and buy systems, an Xbox One. They had no money, dude. Like their account was literally negative, and they just, what did they do? They went out, borrowed money, went out, got a freaking credit card, did whatever they needed to do. Terrible interest rate, ended up paying $1,200 for that Xbox One, but they wanted it right then and there. Gamers will do anything to get what they need or what they feel that they need at launch if you're hardcore enough, So yeah. Scalping gonna be bad launch in my opinion. Ease off soon after. I don't think scalping's gonna be as bad based off of what Nintendo stated. I mean, if they have 8 million systems ready, And it launched, obviously it launches in a you gotta remember, Xbox and PlayStation launched in a COVID year when there was a chip shortage. That's why scalping was so bad. That's why scalping was so bad. They couldn't even produce enough systems, and it was COVID, and there was all sorts of stuff that was happening. If Nintendo has way more than what they had, I don't think it's going to be too bad. And the thing with scalping is that scalping is it's not just how much systems you have on the market, but it's also how do you run your operations, like with Walmart and all these places. If they have good bot protection and control like Best Buy, if everybody ran their operation like Best Buy, scalping wouldn't even be that big of a deal. But everybody doesn't run their operation like Best Buy. So I think Nintendo really needs to get these people to start, whatever Best Buy is doing, you need to start doing that. Get into queues, make it to where you have to wait. I don't care what it is, but you've got to do different things to make sure people aren't using bots to eat up 50 different consoles all at once with one button press. So Best Buy does a great job with that. They have a good job with scalping. Japan is doing some anti-scalping right now, so I think it's actually going to be a little bit better. I mean, the fact that Nintendo felt they're not going to have too many issues, like they were confident enough to tell investors that tells me that they've got a lot of systems that they're procuring for this launch. So yeah, I think it's going to be. I mean, don't get me wrong, it could still happen, but I don't think it's going to be as bad as Xbox and PlayStation or a Switch. I don't think so, based off of what Nintendo stated so far, at least so far. Once again, could be wrong, but yeah, we'll see. OG, remember how people used to camp outside retail stores to get new consoles? I do remember that. When I went to go get my Switch, there were people that were doing that. So one more question. Do you think there'll be enough physical copies of Thousand Year Door? Yes, I think so, Caleb. I know right now it's looking kind of spooky because, like, there's been some not available on Amazon and stuff, but I think once the game rolls around, we should be okay. Best Buy should have them. If you go to Best Buy, they'll have them. So if you want to just pre-order it there. The game industry was arguably thriving between 2008 and 10. What would be different this time? Higher cost of development. Yeah, higher cost of development, things like that. I mean, there was a bad economy, right? 2008 was one of the worst economic, things that we've seen in the modern history. It was hard to find a job. It was hard to get paid anything. I was struggling immensely at that time. As well. So I know that time very well. I was struggling really bad during that time. But yeah, man, I think the difference now would be it would be, cost of development and stuff, but I think it's a little bit different in today's day. Like, people have more access to ways to make money. Money is made in different type of ways compared to what it was. Like, online business just alone is completely different. Side businesses are so much bigger now at this point because of how much more advanced the internet is than then. So people find ways, when it comes down to buying things. I mean, because even during COVID, during, everything, people still bought a bazillion different things. Billionaires became like super billionaires, even when people were losing their jobs and didn't have money and all, people still did what they needed to do. So I think regardless of how things are with the economy, people are going to buy the hell out of this system as long as the games are there. If the games are there, then it'll be bought. It'll be purchased. No questions asked. Don't see the point. You want to create a new account. Companies talk about how quick and easy to make a new account, register, repeat, put everything down. Annoying. Okay. That's another reason why Nintendo will probably support Switch 1 into Switch 2. They're selling Switch online. That's true. Yeah. You don't want to lose all that Switch online, all right? I think so. Yeah. The game industry was... I already read that. My bad. I like Sony's system where they send invites to people with very active PlayStation accounts first. Nintendo should do something like that. They send invites to people with very active accounts first. I don't know what that means. I don't. You mean like what? Like the PlayStation Direct stuff like that? Yeah, Nintendo's not going to do that. Just they're not going to do stuff. They're not going to do like a Nintendo where they send stuff to people's accounts. Like when it comes to buying a system, they're not going to do that. There's no need, to be honest. Half the time that stuff barely anybody even gets that. If Switch 2 is actually on shelves at the release, I'll definitely pick one up. I still have PTSD from the OG Switch launch. Oh man, it was easy for me to get mine. And Nintendo did not send me a Switch, guys. I pre-ordered it on Best Buy. It was easy. They said Nintendo was like, pre-orders are open now. I went on Best Buy, I pre-ordered it, and that was that. Like, I didn't have to struggle or anything. So, I mean, I was like, oh, okay, looks like this is great, So, I didn't struggle at all. I just pre-ordered it. It was good. So, I didn't have that same struggle. But I know people did struggle to try to get one, and there wasn't enough, and there were, there was all sorts of issues. But, yeah, to me, it was just, and it's not even like I was rushed over there. They said pre-orders are available. I went on Best Buy. I looked at the pre-order. I put it in the cart. I paid for it, and I went and picked it up. So yeah. Do you get anything special for pre-ordering it? No. You get the satisfaction that you know you're going to get your system at launch. Remember when Etika 3D printed a fake Switch? I do remember that. That was crazy. People really thought that it was real. But I knew there was an issue because he didn't turn the system on or anything like that. So, yeah. The very active accounts I believe they're referring to, I got an invite to my PS5 and place direct debt because I have a bunch of digital purchases. Okay, got you. Yeah, I mean, like, preferably you won't need to do that, right? That's something that you do if it's like, that's like dire times. Like, what you want to do is you want to have systems available for people to buy. So don't worry about sending the most active people a chance to buy it. What you need to worry about is having enough systems in general. Now, if Nintendo doesn't have enough systems, then yeah, they need to do something like that. But the reason why Sony did that is because they did it. There was a chip shortage. There was obviously they couldn't supply enough systems. There was a major scalping. The PS5 scalping situation was so bad, people were paying upward of $2,000 plus to $3,000 for a PS5. You know, so the scalping situation was absolutely atrocious. So yeah, Sony was doing that. I hope and pray that the situation with Switch 2 doesn't get anywhere near as bad as that. You know, I don't know if the Switch situation was anywhere near as bad as that. So that's the reason why Sony was doing that. It was getting scalped to hell and back. And they barely had any systems because of the chip shortage. The chip shortage was completely destroying Sony's sales, you know? So that was the problem. That's why they did that. How did scalpers become casual? How did scalpers become casual? The internet advanced. Internet business advanced. Selling from Etsy and selling from eBay and selling from Facebook Marketplace and selling from all these places. Home business picked up. From before in the past to now, you have a bazillion more people that know how to use the internet and know how to use online and have their own storefronts, right? You can create your own storefront in 15 minutes in these days, you know? So that's the reason why. So yeah, who knows what PS5 sales would be without the chip shortage. I mean, it would have leveled out, right? So their sales would have been more front-loaded, right, than back-loaded. So what we saw with PS5 is that it was like high for what they had, and then it spiked really high up afterwards. Spiked, and then it kept consistency, and then now it's a little bit on the down. So what you would have seen that shifted over. It would have spiked even higher and higher, kept consistency, and then at some point, once everybody's got theirs, it dies down. So the die down would have been a bit sooner. The die down is going on right now. There's a little bit of a lull right now with PS5 sales, right? Just like every system's down. So you would have saw that like a little bit ago instead of right now. It still would have been around the same sales numbers ultimately, but the shift in terms of where you would have saw it. Because I don't think anybody really said, oh man, I can't get a PS5, I'm going to buy an Xbox. Like, I don't think anybody did that. And if they did, they probably have already sold their Xbox and got a PS5 or just bought another PS5 at this point, right? So, let's see, I sold 30 PS5s for $700 plus. So there you go. Gustavo is one of the problems. So they got to make sure that they don't. Hey, listen. First of all, I'm happy that you were able to sell, so you can so you can provide for yourself and for your family, whatever the case is. But honestly, to keep it a buck, we can't have that with the Nintendo Switch 2. We definitely don't want that with the Nintendo Switch 2. We need people to be able to get their systems. We need that, you know. So yeah. But I'm pretty sure that you're gonna be ready to go. So it's on. Listen, it's on Best Buy. It's on these guys. It's on the actual retailers to stop this nonsense. It's not, I mean, don't get mad at the people because it's legal. You got to get mad at Best Buy. You got to put pressure on Nintendo. Nintendo, Best Buy, Walmart, Target. You got to put pressure on these guys. They got social media. Put pressure on them. Say, y'all bungled up the last launch. Invest. Invest in your technology. Invest. Best Buy is pretty good. Invest. And make sure it doesn't happen. Don't let these guys do this. So it ain't on Gustavo. It ain't on them. They're just doing what these companies are allowing them to do. It's got to be on them to take care of it. If you got good tech, you can't get that done. They'll they'll warp you into a wait out, or they'll identify that it's a bot, or they'll make you, do the captcha stuff, like multiple ones. Like, they'll read IPs, they'll see if it's a VPN signaling out different ones. Like, you got to invest. If you don't invest in your technology of this, then it's going to be bad. So yeah, man. Listen, please ban Gustavo. Thank you. Shout outs, man. Let's see. I'm excited to see the launch lineup, first and third party. Me too, Superpower, man. I'm excited. The Switch wave having a lull in sales in fourth year of the market. I believe it was peaking. Switch peaked like 2020, 2021. That's when it was like at its all-time high. 2020 was crazy because like COVID and all that. Like Animal Crossing, super peak. And then like 2021 as well was pretty big. But then, yeah, 2022 things started dying down a bit. 2023, and then that is kind of still kind of dying down. But they're still selling, just like PS5's still selling, but just dying down a little bit. Or a lot of bit for Nintendo and a bit for Sony. I'm pressuring you. Send that man to ban world. We got to ban Gustavo for buying the Switch 2. Yeah, we got to make sure that he don't look up the Switch 2 stuff. Let's see here. Vinny Mac. What's up, Vinny? Says, take y'all ass to the store to pre-order instead of online if you can. That's true. But I mean, a lot of times, like, if you go in-store to pre-order, like, you can get a system. But you got to be there because people are going to be there. Me, I always just pre-order online. I just have a bunch of windows open. I just try to pre-order wherever I can get them. Multiple pre-orders and just get that done if I can. Like, I pre-ordered 2 PS5s. I bought one for myself and one for my wife. So I was able to actually pre-order and get 2 PS5s and an Xbox Series on launch day. Once again, I didn't use any special software or anything like that, So yeah. Atruist says Switch 2 will be cool, but I don't think they'll have gotta play games. What's your definition of a gotta play game, Atruist? Because Nintendo usually does a good job of making sure that they do have gotta play games at launch. The Nintendo Switch had The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. That was the gotta play game. Wii U necessarily wasn't as great. Obviously, 3DS wasn't as great. But if you go back to like GameCube, like Melee and things like that, but Nintendo knows, at least at this point, especially with the Switch, that you got to have the gotta play games to buy at launch. So what is your idea of gotta play games? And what's your criteria for that? Metroid Prime 4. Metroid Prime 4 sells a fraction of what Mario does. So gotta play game for you, Metroid Prime 4, that might be a gotta play game. But for the masses out there, Mario is a way bigger gotta play game than Metroid Prime 4. I mean, like, max sales for Metroid Prime is probably gonna be like 5 million. If they're lucky, 6 million, maybe a bit more if they can get that. That'd probably be like the tops. But for most people, when it comes to selling a system, if you want to know Nintendo's best-selling systems, they had stuff like Legend of Zelda at launch. They had stuff like Wii Sports. These are the type of games that are gotta-play games for most people. Now, for you, might not be, but if you're talking about what Nintendo does to have a good launch, those are the type of games. It's not going to be Metroid Prime 4. I mean, don't get me wrong, that's going to be a big game and people are going to be excited, but you need Mario, you need Zelda, you need Smash Brothers, you need, Splatoon. These are the type of games that actually are going to be probably more likely to be earlier than not for the Switch 2 that can sell the system. Because that's what they did for the Switch. Switch launched with Zelda, launched with month after it had Mario Kart. A couple months after that, it had ARMS. And then it had Splatoon. And then it had Mario plus Rabbids. Then it had Pokken. Then it had Super Mario Odyssey. It had Fire Emblem Warriors. Then it had Xenoblade. That was a pretty good batch of a variety of games. Some people said must have. Some people did it. So I can see Nintendo doing something similar to that. Having a variety of games from big titles. Probably a new Mario Kart within the first 9 months. Probably a new 3D Mario game. Probably a Zelda remake somewhere inside there or something. A packaged Zelda, 4K version of Breath of the Wild or Tears. So yeah, those will be the must-have games for Switch 2 that I think is going to sell it. So I'm going to disagree with your assessment. All right, next up, Rob Phelps with the subscription. I appreciate that. Thank you so much for the subscription, Rob Phelps. Hey, OJ, just on I'm trying to copy your YouTube video idea. I was just playing around with Prime. But yeah, he did definitely try to copy. But he said that he never saw the video idea, though. But it's all good. We all know Prime copies stuff. But it's okay. It's like, that's like flattery that he actually does. But I mean, once again, he says that he didn't even see my video. So I'm going to take his word for it. I'm going to take his word that he didn't see my video and he didn't even see it. I mean, making a roundup of information, I mean, that's not anything special. You know, so all I did was make a roundup of all information. So that's not like that's like, oh my god, some type of crazy idea. I was just messing with them. You know, I was just messing with them. But yeah, shout outs to Prime, man. Yeah, Switch 2 stuff. He's knocking it out of the park. He's doing a good job. Just picked up Sea of Stars on Switch Physical. Yeah, Sea of Stars is great. I'm curious to see what the first reveal of Switch 2 will look like. The first reveal. I think they're going to do something very similar to the Switch. I think they're really going to play that part. Devs supported Switch have their sequels on games loaded in the chamber for Switch 2, Cyberpunk, Dying Light. I don't know about Cyberpunk and Dying Light, but I know that CD Projekt Red does like Nintendo Switch. They tried to get, you know, and even like the Baldur's Gate devs, man, they put stuff on Switch. They put Baldur's Gate 1, 2. They didn't put 3, but they put the other Baldur's Gate games on there. They put Divinity: Original Sin. They put that game on the Switch. So I think that they actually might put some of those games on there. Dying Light was on the Switch, right? I mean, there was the first one there was a cloud version, so maybe actually get like a native version of the other one. So I mean, I think there will be some of those devs that say, yeah, like heck yeah, put it on Switch, you know, if they can. So Nintendo has this whole year to manufacture Switch 2. There should be no shortage. Yeah, there's no excuse at this point, right? There's no excuse. So I agree. That reveal for Switch 2 with that clean looking 3D Mario and Mario Kart gameplay, that would be right there. That's all you need to sell the system. If you got that clean 3D Mario, brand new big 3D Mario, brand new big Mario Kart, it's a wrap. That's all you need. I mean, don't get me wrong, you're going to need some other type of like core game, but that's where backwards compatibility comes into play. If Nintendo can knock it out of the park, say, hey, look, and you can play all your other games, and maybe there's some upgrades or additions to it, like brute forcing, it's a wrap. Everyone's going to be like, cool, that's what we needed. I mean, there's probably going to be some things that people don't like, obviously. Nothing's perfect, but I think that's really all you need, man. I think Game Freak's going to scale down their games a bit. I don't think their games are going to... They're not going to be building worlds as big as they did on the Switch. So I think they're going to scale things down. I think Pokemon Legends ZA is going to be dramatically scaled down. I don't think it's going to be anywhere near as big in terms of landmass as Pokemon Sword and Shield or Pokemon Scarlet and Violet or Pokemon Legends Arceus. I think it's going to be smaller. So they're going to scale it down. And then just work on how it looks. Because look at what they did with Pokemon Let's Go. Pokemon Let's Go. It's scaled down. It's isometric. It's the best looking one. People say, oh, it's the best looking game. Yeah, because it's isometric, scaled down, big bobbleheads. So they're going to scale things down. They're going to make it smaller, more compact. Switch 2 better have backwards compatibility. Nintendo's cooked. They wouldn't be cooked, but they would definitely not do as well as they could do. But they definitely not be cooked, no. Because people try to say that like with Wii U or 3DS. People just, there's no 3DS backwards compatibility. There's no Wii U backwards compatibility. They're cooked. That's what people tried to say there, and that didn't happen. But no, they would definitely sell less if they didn't have it. Let's go. Still my favorite Pokemon games on Switch. I like Legends Arceus. Legends Arceus is way better than Let's Go. Let's Go forces you to use motion controls on the TV. That's terrible. If they didn't force you to use motion controls, maybe. But yeah, I like Arceus more, but I can understand why people like Let's Go. But yeah, those motion controls. No, not looking, not game. Okay. I like the look of Arceus more, but I can understand why people like that one more. I guess I'm not as big of a fan of like the isometric view of Pokemon Let's Go, but once again, it's cool. You know. Let's Go had the Pokeball controller. That thing was cool. It was too small. I had it and I tried to use it. It's too tiny to even control. Like if you have big hands, that ball is way too tiny. Unless you got little baby hands, then that ball is comfortable. But that ball is way too tiny to even play. It's cool. There's a Mew inside there, but yeah, it's unusable for anybody with big hands. Yeah, it was very tiny. It was hard to use. Like they had a joystick on there to try to play using it, and it's just they should have made a bigger Pokeball Plus controller, which I know would increase the manufacturing, but it'll give you carpal tunnel if you have big hands. You can't. Some specs for the Switch 2 got leaked. No, yeah, we went over it in depth or detail in my video, but essentially we're looking at just the baseline rumored specs: 12 gigabytes of RAM. 256 gigabytes of internal storage. We're looking at graphics without DLSS around like an Xbox Series, the PS4 Pro, but more modern architecture. So you're gonna have games that look good, but obviously not the best, but look good. Handheld mode be about a little bit above PS4 without DLSS. So I heard it might have DLSS. It's not might, it's going to have DLSS, because if you're looking at a custom SoC from NVIDIA, anything past like what, 2018 or whatever the case is, I mean, you're going to have the tensor cores built in. So yeah, it's going to have DLSS. It's not might. That's pretty much confirmed at this point. Legends Arceus has been my favorite Pokemon experience is Black and White 2. Yeah, Legends Arceus is super good. I mean, there's some things with it, of course, Epic, which we both pointed out, but yeah, it's great. I love it. I love that game. I can't wait for Pokemon Legends Z. I think it's going to be phenomenal. We'll have OLED screen from the start. There's some rumors with the Samsung OLED like shipment manufacturings that's for Nintendo that they will have an OLED, but then there's been some that they won't. So we'll see what they do with that. Depends on what type of LCD that they have. Like for example, OLED's definitely better than LCD, like 100%. But there is a LCD screen that actually looks incredible, and believe it or not, it's on the PS Portal. That is a non-OLED screen, but it almost looks like one. It is really good for some reason. I don't know how they do it, because the Steam Deck, the regular Steam Deck screen does not look as good as that PS Portal screen. So I don't know what type of cooking they got in the PS Portal screen, but that one looks really good. So if they have an LCD like that, I think it'll be okay. But if it's more like the Steam Deck, then that's not going to be, or if it's more like the standard Switch, then that's not good when it comes to LCD. But we'll see what they do with it. What's your prediction on launch price? What resolution screen do you think it'll have? Rumors right now are 1080p screen, so I think that's likely, or 900p screen, I don't know, 1080p or something like that. We'll see about that. When it comes to the launch price, $399, that's probably going to be $399. So yeah. PS5 Pro and Switch 2 releasing around the same time. I will be buying both of them. I need a PS5 for this room. So I will be copping a PS5 Pro for my office just to have inside here to test out games and things. So that's exciting stuff. The rumors that PS Portal screen is exact screen for Switch 2. Yeah, if the PS Portal screen was the exact screen for Switch 2, which I did not see that rumor, I don't recall that actually being a rumor. I think people just speculated on that. But if it's that screen, then I'd be like, okay, it's not as good as OLED, but it's decent. It's not a bad screen by any means. But OLED could be more efficient battery time to play. That's true, but OLED costs more. So if they use that type of screen, that would be a cost-cutting measure to make the system cheaper. PS5 Pro seems unnecessary in my opinion. It does, but it's happening. So, I mean, to me, developers still haven't really even tapped the PS5, like tapped the true, like everything, like to go with PS5. In my opinion, I think that PS5 it can still do some pretty cool things that developers haven't been able to do yet, but you know, it is what it is. Yo, DZ, thank you for the subscription. I appreciate that. Says Sony does make their own displays, so maybe the LCD was good. There's other TVs, Nick. Like if you buy like a modern, like a UH LCD TV, those ones are actually pretty good. Some of the new technology in LCD, like the newest ones, are good. They're just not as good as OLED. You know, not as good as OLED. The like you know like the colors and stuff like that. But there are these Vizios. These Ultra HD Vizio TVs that you can buy, pretty much they're just LCD, they're fancy LCDs. They're really good. They look great. Not OLED. It doesn't look like I have a LG CX in my room, right? And my wife, she loves that. But we have a Vizio in the living room, and it's not as good as the LG CX. But the LCD quality on my Vizio is fantastic, and that was a $500 TV. Like it's like a 65-inch $500 TV. It was $400, $488 at Walmart on sale. Last year or 2 years ago. Yeah, 2022. So, and that's pretty good. Like, I'm like, okay, this quality's not bad. Like, I even play some games on there and I'm like, okay, this looks decent, you know? So the technology's gotten better when it comes to LCD. Like, Nintendo Switch, that uses some crusty old LCD technology. Same thing with Steam Deck. Steam Deck's LCD technology is kind of old. It's kind of crusty. But the PS Portal and the newer ones, the newer LCD technologies are not bad. They're not as good as OLED. No, not as good. But they're not bad, you know? Let's see here. PS5 hasn't been tapped in truly yet. Not yet. I think there's still some stuff that developers can do with PS5 that they have not unlocked. You know? PS5 Pro is so unnecessary. They haven't even had first-party Sony games that uses all this PS5's power. Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing about it, though, I think the biggest thing about it is giving developers some more overhead room. I don't know if it's even about they haven't. It's like, hey, if you have this extra overhead room, you feel a bit more comfortable. Maybe some processes are a bit faster for you. So the best equation that I can make, which is probably wrong, is like editing, right? So if you have a 2080, like, will you maximize everything that your Power Director, that your Adobe Premiere can do have in your videos? Probably not. You know, you probably won't maximize it, but there'll be some things that are not as good just because of that graphics card, right? But if you have like a 3080 or like a 4080 or a 4070 or whatever, you can probably do the same thing, but it'll make what you do even easier, and things can probably, the process can be a little bit better, right? Like, it can be a little bit easier, a little bit better with a better graphics card. Things don't delay as much. It's a little bit faster process. So I think that would be what I would equate it to. It's like, I don't need a 3080 or 40 whatever to edit, but but if I had one, it would make things a little bit better for me, a little bit easier for me in the production process. So that's what I'm guessing. A 2080 is completely fine for editing. It's completely fine. But if I had this, a little bit easier for me to edit. It'd be produced a little bit faster. Things will work a little bit better. I don't have to optimize as much. You know, things can a little bit more overhead room to get things done quicker. You know, so that's what I'm guessing. That would be my guess to it. You know, Nintendo should have close to PS5 level hardware ready to go during the first half of next year. Switch to outdated tech at this time. Okay, so Nathan, tell me, how are you going to get close to PS5 level hardware ready to go in the form factor of a hybrid device for a good price? Like, let me know what is the process for that, Nathan. So that means you're going to make a hybrid, right? Because the Switch has sold 140 million systems. It's the second best selling system of all time. So how do you get something? Mind you, Steam Deck is PS4 level. Steam Deck actually is below PS4 in many areas. So, and that costs $549 for the middle one and $650 for the higher tier one. So exactly how do you get it to PS5 level and cost effective in the form factor of portable or a handheld? Let me know. Let me know how you do that. And I'd be more than happy to say you're right on that. But let me know. Nathan. Let's see here. Can't wait for the next Switch. Astro's Playroom shows everything the PS5, especially the controller, can do. Yeah, I mean, it's nice. I'd happy with PS4 power, to be honest. Portable mode. May I ask, I believe the creation of Game Pass was an unwise decision for Microsoft. In hindsight, it looks that way, Luis. Yes. Let's see. You won't have enough TDP power on Switch 2 to match. Won't have any battery life. Yes. So battery life will be literally cooked. You will turn that thing on. Not only will it warm your hand like an easy bake oven, but it'll probably blow your battery at some point. It will explode. You will. Well, didn't Sony had some exploding, or was it Samsung? I forgot who had exploding laptops because the battery was messed up. So yeah, it'll explode your battery. So Nathan, I see what you're trying to say. Like, I get it, but that's just not feasible. Once again, this is a Steam Deck. I have one right here. This is about PS4 level. It does some things better than PS4, but PS4, base PS4, does a lot of things better than this. And by the way, this was $550. It was more than a PS5, right? You can get a PS5 digital. This is all digital. So we got to compare it to PS5 all digital. You can get a PS5 all digital for $399, right? So this is $500 for this, $550 for this system. But you're telling me that they should have a system that's PS5 level, okay, ready. What price would that be if this is PS4 level and it costs $500? So what you're trying to say is like that what you're saying doesn't make sense. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not feasible. You know, not right now. Give it about 3 years and you'll probably see like handheld systems that are PS5 level. Give it about 3-4 years, like Asus ROG Ally or something like that. Or Steam Deck 2 or somebody will make something that's around PS5 level. You know, but it'll cost $700. You know, it'll cost $700. It'll have bad battery life. And it'll be niche. It'll be for a distinct, specific audience, you know? So yeah. See, it's funny, these Steam Deck fanboys say the price of the Steam Deck is actually can be cheaper than Switch. Since Steam Deck, you can play your Steam games, while Switch you buy $70. Not all Switch games are $70. That's, you mean Switch 2? We don't know the price of Switch 2 games, but not all Switch games are 70. I mean, they have indie games and stuff like that too, so I don't get it. I don't understand that logic. Do you think the 1080p screen will be on Switch 2? The rumor is yes, J2. It was a Galaxy Note 7, batteries blew up. There you go. I have a OnePlus and my battery is not, fortunately my battery is not blown up. And I also had a Samsung and my battery never blew up there too. Valve sold the Steam Deck at a loss too. They did. Steam Deck is not a profitable type of situation for them. It's just not. I'm going to move over to more of this music here. OnePlus in 2015. Okay, like a decade ago. Yeah, the new OnePlus. I've had OnePlus for a while now. And nothing. I don't remember anything happening. Sony does make phones already. Xperia. They got good cameras. I've never bought a Sony phone before. Once again, it's about games. Everyone look at the Xbox and PS5. Not many games. I mean, first party wise, yeah. But Sony and Microsoft have already stated that they maybe kind of underestimated the cost associated with making modern games, because the development cycles are just taking way too long and they're difficult. I mean, you got a lot of developers canceling games and stuff, you know. Microsoft in particular has had incredible amounts of trouble getting games out. Everything like Perfect Dark, State of Decay, Everwild, like they've had a litany of games. Obviously, Redfall. They've had a litany of games that have just went through development hell, you know, and just launched in a bad state or haven't launched yet. Fable, we don't know where that game. It seems like that game has had a little bit of trouble in development. So yeah, the more tech that you have, the more power that you have. That's great, but also it increases your development cost. It makes things development longer. So it's a double-edged sword for sure. So yeah. I feel like this is the worst unnecessary generation for Xbox and PlayStation systems. I honestly don't like this generation at all for Xbox and Play. If you want me to keep it a buck, I mean, like I play the systems when I play Stellar Blade and that game's fantastic. I don't know, but I don't like this generation at all. Not at all. That's too far, but I don't like this generation. It's not my favorite for Xbox and PlayStation. Xbox in particular. I mean, like PS5 at least I've had a number of bangers that I've played. Like, you know, I played The Last of Us, even though that was on the PS4. I played Final Fantasy VII Remake. That was on PS4 too, but that's fine. I played Intergrade. That was on PS5. That was great. I played Returnal. That was good. I played Stellar Blade. That's been really good. You know, I don't think I've ever gotten into any Xbox. I have not gotten into a single Xbox game this whole Xbox Series gen. The most I've ever played Xbox was Mass Effect. Mass Effect Legendary Edition. I played the heck out of my Xbox because it's the best on there. If you have an Xbox Series X and 120 hertz TV, you can play it at like 4K 120, and it was awesome on there. That was great for Mass Effect. But outside of that, I haven't, and that's a third-party game. I haven't played anything first-party Xbox or exclusive that I'm just like, oh my god, I'm blown away. Like, there's been nothing, you know. No, objectively, it's decent, Nick. The exclusives, in terms of just PS5 exclusives, has been bad, not necessarily great compared to previous gens, or compared to Sony's best, maybe. But if you count third-party games, then I think it's good. It's okay. If you count if you count all the third-party games, I think it's fine. You know, it's not terrible or anything. You know, there's been good third-party games. There's been a lot of good third-party games. Sorry, I didn't get to see the notification. What up? Hey, what's up, Casual Noob? We're just chilling, talking about the situation with Microsoft, talking about the Switch 2 information roundup, talking about a lot of stuff. So yeah. Let's be honest, all you need is Nintendo System, PC, you're good to go. I mean, I don't know, man. It depends on what Sony games. I mean, if you like Uncharted, or if you like Last of Us, or if you like, you know, stuff like that, I guess you would need PS5 or Sony. But Sony's starting to put those games on PC now, but they come way later though. Like you guys hear like Ragnarok is coming to PC, but that's what 2 years later now. You know, like if you really love those games, you're not gonna want to wait a year, 2 years to play the game. So the mismanagement at Microsoft is ridiculous. How hard is it to put out games? It's really hard. How hard is it to put in games? Hey, Ghostin, try to make a game. Try to make a game, bro. It's not easy. I'm not defending Microsoft. They should definitely do better because Microsoft has spent billions of dollars. So yes, they should do better. But dude, game development is hard as hell. It is not easy to make a great game. It's very hard. It takes a lot of time, and it's just difficult, I somewhat agree on that. Unless you're a super into Sony first-party games, PC and Switch is all you need. Yeah, if you're into Sony games, then I would say that PS5 and Switch. I would even say, for me, I would take a PS5 over a PC because PC's all digital. So I would want, like, if I had to, like, gun to my head, I had to pick one, I'd pick a PS5 so I can actually get physical games. But that's just me. Not everybody feels, physical is that important or whatever. But for me, I'll pick a PS5 over a PC any day because physical. Obviously, if I had to pick between PC and a all digital PS5, I'd pick a PC. But between a PC and a physical PS5, I'll pick a PS5. So yeah. So Spider-Man 2 was not going to be playable on PS4. The speed swinging around would have been impossible without the SSD. Just like what's it called? Ratchet and Clank was impossible without the SSD, right? No, I'm joking. I mean, maybe. So let's see here. I've really let down by Microsoft with the what's going on, and feel like there are not many chefs in the kitchen, and I feel like there are too many chefs in the kitchen listening to too many people. Yes, that's true. That's true. Oh, that's partly true, right? The main appeal for console over PC nowadays is the price. It's still hard to build a PC that matches performance of the current consoles for the price. I think I agree with you, Alex. I don't think that you're wrong. But I will say that in today's day, it's much easier now with all these pre-built companies. Bro, you can get yourself a nice little pre-built $700, which is still a lot. But you get free online. You do get pretty cheap games, Steam deals, all that. And you can make that money up in the back end. So these pre-builts that are coming out are pretty good. They're pretty solid. Like if you just want like a solid gaming pre-built, But yeah, obviously if you're trying to get something that's way better, then it's going to be, I spent way more on my PC, But I'm editing though. It's not just for games. But I got a 3080. It was expensive. I see what you're saying though. But console to me is just it's just easier. It's easier. It's cheaper. Just like in terms of the base level investment, it's cheaper. It's easier. So yeah, I agree with you on that. I'm not a PC gamer. I have a PC. I play on there sometimes, very rarely. But Power World made me not be a PC gamer. Legit, I thought I was gonna turn into a PC gamer because of Power World, and then I started playing on it. I'm like, I don't like this. Let's see here. Shout out to Sicilian Gamer with the $2. Thank you so much, Sicilian, with the dono. Let's go. And he says, Hades 2. I broke down and bought early access game of the year. I gotta play it, man. Everyone's saying Hades 2 is really good. I still need to play Hades 2. I still need to play it. What do you guys think? Maybe we should boot up Hades 2. Maybe if we hit a goal, we'll do it. I don't know. Actually, no, never mind. I gotta edit tonight. Never mind. I need to be an adult and I need to edit tonight. I was just thinking maybe I can. I'm like, oh, actually, no, I cannot. I need to edit. I need to record, and I haven't even recorded yet. I have a general script, but I need to record and edit tonight, and I gotta take care of my boy because my wife needs to go out and get some stuff for tomorrow. So, yeah, never mind. Thought I could have fun tonight and play some games, but absolutely not. I hate being an adult, dude. It sucks. Dude, it's trash. The best thing is that I get to talk to you guys about video games, but outside of that, man, and obviously, hang out with my son and my wife and all that. But man, some of the other stuff, oh god, it always seems like there's no time to do things that, overall, yeah, negative. I wish I would have. I was taking care of my son earlier. I couldn't edit. I had the idea of what video that I wanted to do, but he was sleeping, and whenever I try to edit or anything, he wakes right up, bro. Like literally, I can come inside here. I can sneak inside here. I can just hit one keystroke. This dude can be all the way over there. He doesn't hear it, but for some reason, as soon as I decide I want to go script or edit, I'm just like, ah, never mind. Thought I was going to put him to sleep. Thought I'm going to be able to get some scripting done or something. I get like 15, 20 minutes. Dude's up. Little man's up. So yeah. But it is what it is. I would also like to return my adulting card, please. Return it. Give me, I would like just 1 week as a child with no responsibilities, no nothing. 1 week just to play games, do whatever I want. 1 week. I haven't had that in, I don't even recall the last time I had that. That's the wild thing. So yeah. Oh my God. Power Roll suffered from Pokemon copycat. They never last. Sadly, Microsoft bought into it, and one could say Microsoft killed it. I mean, here's the thing though, Power World isn't a clone of Pokemon. It's got a lot of elements that would remind you of it, but it plays so differently. That's the funny thing. If they had god tier graphics, or not god tier, but if they had the graphics that they had, and if they made a turn-based game that had some of those elements like the guns and all that, and it wasn't action-based, I think that people might still be playing it at this point. But the AI and the action is so crusty. The attack patterns and all that, maybe they've updated it since then, but if they actually made a little bit more depth and it was turn-based with the guns and all that, I think I might still be playing it. But the action RPG elements it's not that great. Like, the gameplay is okay. The novelty wears off quick, especially with the attack patterns. The attack patterns and like what they do, it's not great. It's not, the AI is terrible. I think that it'd be easier to program the AI and all that if it was a turn-based RPG. So I think they might have even had a little bit more success in terms of long run if it was a turn-based RPG. But obviously people would disagree with that because people like action and all that. But yeah, man, I don't like the game anymore. I haven't booted it up in forever. But for those who do like it, no hate towards it. It's a good game. Sicilian with the $5 and says MMW, demand just too high. There will be Switch 2 shortages and scalping. I don't care how many Nintendo makes. Gustavo will have at least 30 of them too. All right, we'll see, Sicilian Gamer. I made my video. It was so bad. Oh, I gotta do some serious editing. That's what happens, bro. Your first videos suck, Christian. So don't be upset at that. Yo, what's up, Nish Quick? Welcome to the stream. How you doing today, brother? Says you need your Tom Hanks big arc. Tom Hanks big arc. You know what? I don't know what joke that's referencing, to be honest. But shout outs. I bet it's funny. Shout outs to Nish Quick. You guys check him out on YouTube. He makes like RPG videos and all that. It's great stuff. I like it a lot. So I want to be a child so I can make a move on the babysitter. Would she be older than 18? Casual noob, and you'd be younger than that? Hey, I'm not gonna say anything else. The best thing about Switch 2 developers can make dedicated software for it. Steam Deck is fine, but it doesn't have the advantage. That's true. Steam Deck feels like crusty PC games. Hey, what's up, Rufflemutt? See, doesn't matter. Power World is better than Pokemon. That's all it needs. Yeah, for real. My first video was Smurf Cart, and it was garbage. Smurf Cart is great, bro. Stop the cap. Yo, combo breaker. 25, 26 on the board. Thank you guys for your support. I do appreciate that. Let's go. 25 minutes added extra to the board. Thank you guys for your support tonight. You guys have been absolutely incredible. Says that video was bad. I think that video was actually pretty good. You should probably make another one. I think there should be like another Smurf Cart video. I think so. If I was a child, she would be older, but why are you trying to throw me in jail? Well, no, you wouldn't go to jail. She would go to jail if she's the older one. Because you said make a move on the babysitter as if she was older. Okay? So I'm guessing it's babysitter. She's probably, like I said, you said, I don't know how young you said. It just sounds weird, bro. You got all these teachers that are going to prison for all this stuff because of what they be doing to the kids and all that, man. So, I mean, like, look, I ain't trying to get involved in all that, casual dude. You know, like I ain't trying to get involved in that. I'm just trying to, just hoping Steam Deck 2 will make improvements to its design. I'll pick it up. If so, I'm done. I ain't never buying another PC handheld ever again. I ain't never buying it. Bro, I ain't never buying another one of those ever again. I remember I was playing Steam Deck and I was just like, I just turned that ish off and went and played PS5, bro. So I feel so uncomfortable playing that thing. Hell no, I'm done. I ain't never buying another one of those again. Why? Because they're too big and bulky. They're not real systems. They're just PCs packed. They're LARPing as handheld systems. They're just PCs LARPing as a real system. That's all they are. They're just handheld PCs or PCs LARPing as a system. No physical games. Why is there? I need physical games. I need the option of physical. I don't like all digital. I'm not a fan of all digital. I don't like all digital. Vizion with the $5 and says, with 5 kids, I have not had free time in 25 years. When do I get time? I found it boring. It's like you got all these kids, you're taking care of everything. Then when you actually get the free time, you're like, what do I do? I ain't got nothing to do. I'm used to taking care of all the kids. I got Kendrick winning. Man, Steam Deck is great. Not for me. Not for me. I feel you. I see why it's great for other people, but not for me. I tried though. I gave it an honest effort. I put 20, 30 hours into Persona. I couldn't even get Power World working on. Apparently Power World works on the Steam Deck. Doesn't work on my Steam Deck. So yeah, maybe they're whatever. But yeah, I played Grand Blue. I tried, man, but like everything's so fidgety on there. Sometimes the fonts are all messed up and things are just, I don't know, man. It ain't for me. But for other people who like it, like tinkering with that type of stuff, cool, have at it. But it's not a real portable system. It's just a fake. It's just a PC trying to be a portable. That's all. So I'm good. Seems like it's basically Shadow clones with Switch 2, the real Ninja. I don't know about that. I want to go as far as the Shadow clones. Those Shadow clones are usually trash. So I wouldn't go as far as that. But for me, yeah. Like for me, it's that. But I'm not going to say that it's that objectively. No. Steam Deck's great. It can do a lot of things. It's powerful for what it is. You know, emulation. It can, you know, it can do a lot of stuff. It can play games. It can do other stuff. You know, media, some Windows. It can do what you can do a lot of things, but it's just not for me. It's just not for me. What do I think of a PlayStation Portal? It's cool, but it's online. It's streaming. I'm not a fan of streaming. I don't like streaming always online. I don't like streaming games. I want to play games natively. At the bare minimum, digital. But I don't want to play games streaming. Also, I was playing Mario Galaxy, play Food Galaxy. You ever heard of it? Hungry, play the game, just randomly stop playing and eat. I don't play games where like I need to eat in between. Not really. No, if I need to eat, I'll just turn the game off and I'll go eat. But usually I eat beforehand. Least favorite Naruto character? I don't know. Not sure. I haven't thought about that. Probably. I don't know. Tenten. I mean, she's alright, but she doesn't really do anything. She had like no actual arc. Do you think we could see a remaster of Galaxy 2 on the Switch too? Or just a release it? I don't know about a remaster, but just like the release of the game, sure. Choji, at least Choji had his moments though. Choji had his moments over Tenten. Tenten had like no moments. It's like Butterfly Choji was dope. I'm calling it right now. Switch 2 is gonna flop because it cannot compete with Steam Deck, ROG Ally, Lenovo, Legion Go, AI, Neo, etc. This time, I'm gonna be right. This time. Do Mario Galaxy food levels make it? No, they don't make me hungry. I don't get hungry with Mario Galaxy food levels. No. Only time I try Steam is if I want to see if a game's worth my time to download. I don't need to see if a game's worth. I don't have any time, so I barely get any time. So I already know what games are worth my time before I even go into that mode. You know, I don't need to stream nothing. I don't need to stream anything. Because what if the game is streaming and it's not performing up to because it's streaming, so that it gives you a bad impression of the game. So for me, nope. I don't. Like I said, I don't be It's the same reason why I don't be going to buffets. I don't need to be eating everything. You know what I'm saying? Reason I don't do subscription services and doing all this. Like I don't need to be streaming and eating every. Oh, I'm gonna eat some. Oh, I'm not gonna be eating everything on the damn. I already know what I want to eat. I'm gonna go somewhere. Hey, I want to eat some chicken and rice. I'm gonna go here. Hey, I want to eat this. I'm gonna go here. I don't be going to buffets and being doing all like. I used to when I was younger. When I was younger, absolutely. I would have loved Steam Deck back in the day. Like when I was young, I would have loved, or not, hell no, not Steam Deck. I would have loved subscription services and streaming if the internet was good enough. I would have loved all that because I used to like to try everything because I was still developing my taste in games. Now that I'm old and I'm bitter and I'm broken, I already know what I like, you know? So I don't really, that's why I turn off games real quick, right? Hi-Fi Rush, I'm playing it. It's a great game, by the way. But I'm playing it. Why do you guys think I just turn off games? I never would do that back in the day. I would never do something like that back. I would always play it out, see how things were going. But in today's day, I already know. I don't want to play. Boom, it's off. Starfield, boom, it's off. I don't even when I'm streaming the game, and I just do stuff like that. So it's like I don't need to be sitting here and taste testing streaming games and let me give you this. That's why Game Pass is failing, bro. Because you got a bunch of old broken people like myself that don't want to give anything a chance or don't want to try. Like we know what we like. We know like when we see it, if it's something new like ARMS, if it looks good, we'll try that out. But I don't need to play 5 million games. I don't need to taste test a bazillion different games. I'm good. I barely get any time to play, so I'm gonna play what I know what I like, you know, because I don't got time like that, you know. I don't got time like that anymore, so I can't be sitting here trying out a bunch of different stuff. I just don't got that time. Yeah, I know Jack Move. Jack Move's cool. Hey, what's up, J Biggs? Heard about Nintendo cutting ties with Twitter. First Sony and Xbox. They didn't cut ties with Twitter. They still have their account and all that. They still pay for their business account. But what they did essentially is that the Nintendo Switch will no longer be able to post directly because of the API. The API costs too much. I think it's like $40,000 a month just to be able to post from Switch directly to Twitter. So they said no. We're not paying that. Let's see here. But yes, I did see that the X account was deleted and reposted to get rid of the community note, which was funny. So I got the Steam Deck and Legion Go. It's more of a laptop, but the Steam Deck, you have to tinker with it outside of Steam and online games. Anti-cheat, both are great. Have at it, man. I'm good. I'll pass. I'll wait for Switch 2. I'll just play games on my PS5 or on my Switch or on my PC. I'm good. I don't need no big old huge Transformers portables. I'm good, man. But like I said, have fun. Have fun. I'm good. OJ, you're gonna be doing an Elite Ninja stream soon? Smash Bros or Mario Kart? We need to do Mario Kart. So yeah, probably Mario Kart sometime soon. We should have been done one, or should have already done one soon. One subscription I hate for food is trying to shop at BJ's. Why block people from buying food? What? Do you regret buying the Xbox this generation? No, I don't regret buying Xbox this generation because I always buy every Xbox. But I'll be honest, I don't play the system. I don't regret it because I knew I wanted it. But I mean, to be honest, I don't need it. I've spent more time watching Netflix and stuff on it than watching YouTube. And now that my TV, LG TV, is completely updated, it's actually way faster and better than Xbox. When I first got my LG in 2020, it was not better than my Xbox Series as a media player with apps and all that. But now at this point, with all the updates that LG's done, it's super fast. It's better. It remembers exactly where I am on my YouTube videos when I stop it and restart it. Like, it's really, really good. So now I don't even use my Xbox as a media player. It's just forever off, you know? So I don't regret it. But I did unlock all the achievements on Twitch. So I did collect all the achievements. So maybe I am an achievement person. I collected all the achievements from watching Twitch. I might as well get a gaming laptop if I have to tinker with my Steam Deck to PC handhelds. Exactly. Might as well just get a gaming laptop. You know? What's the point? Well, actually, to have it a handheld, right? But it's too big. It's uncomfortable to hold for that long. Might as well just sit it down on a desk and just play. You know? If you want to play a portable, like a portable plane. But I'm not carrying that big old thing around. I carried this big old huge behemoth to Seattle with me for Nintendo Live. Man, last time I do that. Is there a system you regret buying? Not really, because I always know what I want. Like, I didn't buy like all the crusty systems back in the day, like a Sega Saturn or like a Sega CD or a 32X or a Virtual Boy. I already knew those things were trash when I first saw it. And I didn't have the money either. But even if I did, I wasn't gonna buy it. Like, so I don't ever regret buying anything that I bought in the past. I always knew what I wanted, for the most part. The last song was "Move Me" from Bandai Namco. "Move Me," I think it's Ridge Racer. "Move Me." Did you enjoy the PS Vita? I enjoy it for what it is, but I mean, like, I didn't love it or anything. Let's see here. Nintendo needs to learn from the big boys and start making hardware that can compete with the competition. Maybe they're gonna do that with this one. Maybe, based off the rumors, looks so. But maybe the competition should start learning from Nintendo a little bit and learn how to actually sell some systems. You know what I'm saying? Maybe Microsoft should learn from Nintendo so they can actually sell. Maybe Sony should learn a little bit from Nintendo, like they're doing with the PS Portal. People want a new Vita, so maybe they can learn from each other. But yeah, Nathan, you still never told me actually how they can make a PS5 portable. You just said that they should do that. So, do you have any solution for that? What's your solution and what price would it be? So, you still haven't said anything yet. It just sounds like you're just talking. It sounds like you're just yapping. Do you have anything of value to add, or no? You're just gonna keep on talking like you don't know what you're talking about? Because it sounds like you don't know what the hell you're talking. Like you have no idea about the video game industry. So let me know, because I can ignore your comments because you sound like you don't know what the hell you're talking about. I'm trying to be nice though, but I can ignore your comments. I can just be like, all right, he just wants to talk, and that's fine. You're more than happy to talk here. So do you have any solutions, like actual solutions to what you're saying, or are you just talking? Which one? So let me know so I can ignore your comments and spend more time on people that know, like, actually want to have real discussions. Let's see here. Yeah, there's a slim gaming laptops too, like the Zephyrus and the HP Victus are slim laptops, like a notebook. Yeah, I might want to get one of those because, like, when I travel, so I can have something to I'm not gonna do the whole Steam Deck thing anymore. If I travel, I'm just gonna bring an Xbox controller and bring, just play my Steam library on that. I don't think he tried to cook. I think he's just trolling. I think he's just LARPing. He's trolling in the chat. I don't think he actually has anything. I don't think he's actually trying to be serious here. I think he's just one of those, like, Twitter type of people, just troll regurgitating Twitter. Now, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's more like a dude just trying to regurgitate Twitter stuff. That's what it sounds like to me. I'm trying to be nice though. Like, I'm trying to give people the benefit of the doubt, but, like, I'm not gonna waste time on him if he's one of those guys. It's like there's no point in, like, actually commenting, because some people actually don't understand and feel that people can make a portable PS5, right? So yeah. The only thing this gen is slow release of AAA games this gen, but the indie scene has been popping. Indie scene's been popping. People say that who's played Big Kitty Little City or Little City Big Kitty or whatever the hell that's called. People say that game's pretty good. Animal Well, Donkey's game apparently is dope. Hades is dope. So it looks like the indie games are out here today, or out here this year. See, I know it sounds like a broken record, but man, I missed the hype with Smash. Bro, I missed the hype with Nintendo games. I just missed the hype. I just missed the hype with, like, Smash. I missed the hype with new Mario. I missed the hype with Fire Emblem. I missed the hype with Xeno. I just missed that hype, bro. It's like Microsoft's incapable of doing. You ever watch a Microsoft event and be like, it's like you have, like, no emotion whatsoever. We watch a Microsoft. At least with Sony, I can get a little. There's some here and there, bro. You ever watch a Microsoft event just be like, you don't even know how to act. You just like, woo. You don't even know. You want to be nice. Like, you don't want to be mean. You want to be good. Like, you just want to, like, not like fanboy or nothing. Man, we've been watching Microsoft events. I don't even know how to feel, bro. Like, I have no idea how to feel. I'm just like, so, oh yeah, that was Microsoft's best event since 2007. I'm like, yeah, it was. It was the best event. Like, I remember, like, like the Xbox 2 podcast, bro. I remember watching those, a bunch of, that's a big Xbox podcast, thousands of people watching. And I'm like, oh yeah, that was the best Microsoft event since forever. I'm just like, yeah. I'm like, sure. Best event since 2012. Oh man, bro, best event since 20. That's just how I feel sometimes. I don't get hyped. Like the games, like they look cool, and like I think I want to play them, but it's like, y'all ever seen an event and like, where are the games? Like when do they launch? Like, Microsoft have games, and it just be like, hold up. This is an Xbox game. At the event, we have this. Let's just say this is an Xbox game. Obviously, it's Mario Kart, but Microsoft would be like, here's the game. It's this, whatever, Clock Tower Revolution or whatever. And then all of a sudden, when it comes to actually playing the game, it's like, now you see it, now you don't. Wait a minute, where'd the game go? Wait a minute, where's the launch? There's no games. Now you see it. Here's the present world premiere. Then all of a sudden, just what? Here's Gears. I don't know. Halo Infinite, new season. I'm like, well, wait, what happened to all the games that y'all announced? What happened to all the games? Where'd it go? Some games be disappearing, bro. They be disappearing, man. Like, I don't know, man. It just be happening that way. Y'all know what I'm talking about, though. I'm not trying to hate on Xbox. Like I said, I like it, but bro, sometimes those games just be disappearing. Like, or they just like Perfect Dark. What happened to Perfect Dark? You know? Oh, there's a new Banjo. Oh, where's that at? You know, I don't know, man. It feels like that. I mean, I know that the games have probably launched, but it feels that way. Not that it is, not that it's actually happening, but it feels that way because they don't give release dates. They don't give no release dates. A lot of times they'll say, oh, this game's coming out within 12 months, and then it doesn't, or they delay it, or it's like they don't give no release dates for things at times. Like, you just don't know when. They'll show a game and show a game and show a game for years before we even get a release date, you know? So that's the issue. That's been a problem. They don't exist. Figment of imagination, bro. He says, yo, Cloud and Xbox. It just feels that way when I watch their shows sometimes. Like, their shows are just, I don't know, they just feel empty, you know? But I know that there's games, like, I watch the Xbox 2 podcast. I try to stay informed. Like, the Xbox 2 guys, like, they know what they're talking about. They know Xbox, you know, better than me. I mean, I've always bought Xbox. Like, I know Xbox, but I don't know the inner workings. Like, they have, like, people that are in the know, right? They have inside information. Like Jazz and those guys, like Windows Central or whatever the hell. So they got inside information. So I'm trying to understand, like, where the hype comes from, like, where it, like, because, like, for me, I was having the Xbox 360 era. Like, the 360 era, I was so tuned in. There was big games coming out. Microsoft was like, oh, here's Blue Dragon. Here's Lost Odyssey. You know, here's Eternal Sonata. Oh, you get time exclusive. You get, like, Tales of Vesperia. You get all. So I was tuned in when they were doing their E3 events. Bro, I was always locked in. We would get our release dates. We would get our physical games. It would be gaming. It was fun. I loved Microsoft. Except for Microsoft did have some bad events, but their E3s were usually okay. They were pretty good. And we would get these games. Like I said, we would get these exclusives and it would be lit. And I don't know what happened. The Xbox One era, it all just like went away. Like it all just like went away. Like all the hype, all the fun, all the cool Japanese games, it just went away. And I'm just like, I'm just thinking to myself, like, what happened? You know? What happened? I don't know. Let's see, it says Xbox. What game? We never said that. Seriously, bro. If Microsoft did a theme park, like, man, you would notice missing rides after you pay for the ticket. This is Phil Spencer would be like, this is our biggest year ever with the best game developers making the best roller coaster ride, or the best architects making the best roller coaster rides with the best everything, and it's gonna be this. Bro, you buy your ticket, you see the roller coasters, but once you, like, from far away, like, if you ever drive to, like, Magic Mountain, or you drive to, like, Disney or Knott's Berry Farm, you see all the big roller coasters, you know? And then when you get a little bit closer, all of a sudden, wait a minute, what? Wait a minute. That's not what I signed up for. All of a sudden they go missing. Milk box, missing. Have you seen this? Missing. Just seems like they use Xbox as a gateway to get more Microsoft products and software PC. Maybe. When the game's releasing, don't you guys have a PS5? I know, seriously. Um, yeah, man. I don't. David Blaine. Yeah. I mean, it's not even really like clowning. It's just disappointing because like even like the Xbox guys are clowning Microsoft. Like Kid Smooth went on Scorched Earth. He's the biggest. He's the best bot. He's the X bot. He calls himself that. He went on Microsoft is they're this and that. I mean, Jez and Rand, Jez is admitting that he was wrong about high. Like after Tango shut down, it's like, hey, you finally got a dope game that's unique, innovative, cool, whatever, high ranking, win awards. Like this is the best in terms of original that Microsoft has done in a hot minute. Even though it's Tango, it's Bethesda, whatever. You want to call them your own, that's fine. And then what do? Shut them down. What about The Evil Within? Shut that down. Ghostwire Tokyo, that's a great game. Didn't have the best review scores, but it's actually a pretty dope game. It's actually pretty. I bought it, but my PS5 copy was crusty as hell. But anyway, it's on Xbox too, right? But you shut down the studio that makes The Evil Within, that makes Ghostwire, that makes Hi-Fi Rush, and you shut them down. Like that eliminates hype. Now we know there's gonna be no Evil Within 3. Now we know there's gonna be no Hi-Fi Rush 2 anytime soon. Now we know there's gonna be no Ghostwire Tokyo 2. Now we know all that. So when you shut a studio down, that it automatically slams the door on so many franchises, unless you want to, let somebody else make it. So that's the problem, man. That's the biggest issue. Yeah, even Kid Smooth says that they're cooked. Yeah, even Kid Smooth's like, yo, Xbox is cooked. So it's crazy, man. It's crazy how everything kind of went down, but it is what it is. But what can you do? What can you do? What can you do about it? But we'll see what Microsoft does. At the end of the day, we'll see what they do. They obviously have a lot of IP. They have a lot of IP. They have a lot of different, whatever. So they have that. But will they be able to will they be able to put everything? Will they be able to put everything together? I think that's like the biggest thing. Will they be able to put everything together in time? And that's where it's going to be a big problem, I think. I think that's where the problem's going to kind of come into play. But we'll see. We'll see overall. We will see. Any Xbox hype is dead. I mean, there's Indiana Jones. Yeah, there's Indiana Jones. I mean, but like even Jez said that. Jez was like, yo, he said he doesn't even feel hype going into the showcase in June. So Microsoft already announced that there's a showcase. They should have waited on that one. They should have waited till after the Tango stuff to announce that showcase, because now it's like heading into it like, oh well, now we're not going to see Evil Within 3 at the showcase. Now we're not going to see Hi-Fi Rush 2. Now we're not going to see Ghostwire 2. Now we're not going to see, like, it eliminates any type of hype that you thought you would have seen for certain games, but Microsoft still hasn't released a lot of the games that they said they're going to release years ago in previous showcases. There's like literally like handfuls of games that they said that they're going to release that they haven't released. Fable's been at multiple showcases. What else? We've got Everwild. That's not been at. They announced that a long time ago. They got Perfect Dark. Where's that at? It looks like we're gonna get Gears. I think Gears is probably gonna be the big game that they're gonna show off at this next showcase. So that'll be it. We've waited this many years for Gears, so I think that'll be cool. I'll probably check that. I'll probably play that. I'll probably play Gears. So yeah, I'll probably play that. My theory is that they're planning on closing Tango because Tokyo and Evil 2 didn't do awesome. They just released Hi-Fi to fail and didn't, and that's why they shadow dropped. Maybe that could be it. At this point, you got to think about all sorts of stuff, right? Or what happened there. I didn't see that you did it, but you react to Sarah Baum Bloomberg interview. Yeah, I did. I did it on Twitter, but I didn't do it like in person or like on camera. But yeah, obviously she, I made a post underneath there. I was like, this is nonsense. But yeah. But it is what it is. So yeah. Wait a minute. Shaquille O'Neal released Wait a minute. Shaquille O'Neal released a diss track on Shannon Sharp? You've got to be kidding me. Goodness gracious. It's not that serious, dude. Oh my God, Shaq. Oh my goodness. A diss track on Shannon Sharp. Wow. Yeah, he did. I just saw it on Twitter right now. You can go on Twitter. There's Big Shaq podcast. Shaq's full diss track to Shannon Sharp has officially dropped. Why would you drop a diss track on Shannon Sharp? That is insane. Yeah, it's all, I don't want to play because I don't know what language he's using, but yeah, whatever. Pacers game winner on Knicks. RGT is in shambles. He says that I saw RGT's post. He said he's fine. He says Knicks are still winning. So yeah, I guess that's the new thing now. Diss tracks are like the new thing between Ken. I mean, diss tracks have always been a thing, but now, I mean, but Shaq went back and forth with Damian Lillard too. So it's not even like this is his first time. But Shannon Sharp? That's crazy because all Shannon Sharp did was say what Shaq said about himself. That's all he did. That was the funny thing. And Shaq takes things so, like, if anybody slights what he has to say, to the point where he's dropping diss tracks, you know? Even when people say that, hey man, no beef, I'm good, you know, I'm good with you. Like Shannon said, I'm good, man. There's no beef. You want to talk to me, that's cool. I mean, Shaq didn't care. He still dropped it. So that's just wild. I like Shannon Sharp, though. I'll be honest. I like Shannon Sharp, but I don't know. Maybe Shannon Sharp reminds me more of myself than Shaq. Because Shaq was always just, you know, big, tall, God-given talent, you know, and everything. And Shannon Sharp, he had to work for everything that he got. He was not the biggest or the strongest or the fastest or the most talented, but he had to work for it. So I think maybe that's why I kind of like Shannon Sharp. And Shannon Sharp's more entertaining. I mean, Shaq is entertaining, but Shannon Sharp is like definitely more entertaining. Like on, you know, Undisputed and like on his Club Shay Shay podcast and Nightcap and on ESPN. I think Shannon Sharp's just more entertaining, but you know, whatever, doesn't matter. Yeah, at least damn. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Why do you drop a diss track on somebody that can't even rap back? But then again, I mean, I don't know. People have dropped diss tracks on people that can't rap back before. So, let's see. Even though the studio closed, don't they own the IP? They do own the IP, but that doesn't mean they're going to use the IP. Usually, when you close the studio down, you don't really have any plans on using the IP if you close the studio down. I mean, yeah, sometimes somebody else can make it, but chances are that IP is cooked. You know, when you close the studio down, that makes it. So that's what I'm guessing. That things are cooked. So yeah, that's that. Let's see here. Shaq can be sensitive sometimes. I mean, I did watch the what's it called? The JJ. I watched some of the JJ Redick podcast with Shaq, or Shaq was on his podcast, or vice versa, or whatever. And like JJ seemed somewhat uncomfortable talking to him because JJ was not as good of a player as Shaq, right? But JJ knows the game very well. But there was one point where JJ was like, yeah, I got to be careful what I say or classify you. It's like, and Shaq was like, yeah. It's like, dude, chill, man. Like, you're supposed to be with your fellow athletes. You're supposed to be like cool and like relaxed with them in a podcast. You know? It's not supposed to be so, I'm the greatest of ever, I'm the greatest of all time, I'm the best, nobody can beat me. It's like, dude, like we get it, Shaq. You're 4-time champion, you're a league MVP, you won 3 finals MVP, you're the most dominant, you dunk. I get it, but it just seems like he's so, it's like so difficult to like, you can't say nothing around him. Otherwise, he's gonna take it some type of way. We saw how he acts around Charles Barkley. We saw what he says to Charles. You know? We see how he acts. We saw what he said to Dame. It's not like Dame was out there saying Shaq sucks about everything. You know, it's like, I don't know, man. But it is what it is. But he seems to get like Shannon didn't even disrespect him like that, you know? And like, the funniest thing is that he made it seem as if Shannon Sharpe is a bum. That's the thing that I didn't like. I watched both of their careers. I watched Shannon Sharpe and I watched Shaquille O'Neal. And I see Shaquille O'Neal be bigger and stronger than everybody. And that's how Shaquille O'Neal dominated. He was bigger and stronger than everyone, literally naturally. He was bigger and stronger than everyone. Yes, he worked hard, not on his free throws, but yes, he worked hard and he did work. But obviously he didn't keep his body in the best shape and all that. Shannon Sharpe was an undersized tight end that was a 7th round draft pick that went to a historically black university, which they don't have a great track record, at least at the time that he was drafted, of coming out from there, and had to work for everything and didn't get to play at the beginning. And he ended up being a Hall of Fame tight end, being one of the best. And Shannon Sharpe said that he's not one of the 100 best players in the NFL history. Yeah, he is. Shannon Sharpe is one of the 100 best players in NFL history. He's selling himself short. You know? I don't know why people try to punk Shannon as if he wasn't some type of god tier tight end in the league. So that's the thing that I don't like. It's like, wait a minute. He won 3 Super Bowls. He was all pro, I think 5-time all pro, 8-time Pro Bowl, 10,000 yards 10,000 yards receiving, 60 plus touchdowns in a league that didn't throw the ball like they throw the ball now. You know, he had John Elway, then he had Trent Dilfer, you know. So I don't know, man. Like, I don't know. And then he had that guy that he had, I forgot who was the end of the last quarterback before or after Elway retired. They had that, what was it, Greasy or something like that? But yeah, they make it seem like if he was a bum. Make it seem like if he was trash. So yeah, man. Shannon's brother was actually better, but I'm showing my age. Shannon's brother could have been better, but he wasn't better because he injured his neck. So he only played 6 seasons from what I understand. Shannon was just better because he played longer and he was more productive in his seasons that he played. But yes, talent-wise, Sterling Sharpe was better. But I think actual work ethic-wise, I think Shannon was better. I think Shannon was the best. People say like, oh, Gronk and all these guys are way better than Shannon. I don't think so. I think Shannon's just as good as a lot of these guys. Shannon always gives it up to, you know, Tony Gonzalez and Gronk and all these guys. And I get that, and like Kelsey. But I mean, if you take prime Shannon Sharpe and you put him in today's era, you don't think he's looking like Kelsey or better? I think he is. Anderson Blitz with the 499 and says, Phil Spencer has lived long enough to see himself become the villain. Xbox, hashtag Xbox game over. Oh man, the villain, huh? The villain? It happens, bro. Shannon Sharpe is the best tight end in history. I can't think of a better tight end. He made that position be marketable. That's true. I mean, I guess you can say Tony Gonzalez. I guess you can say Gronk. You can say Travis Kelce. Those would be the guys. Antonio Gates. Those guys would be better. I mean, me personally, I would say number 1 tight end ever in the history of tight ends. I would say Shannon Sharpe. He's my number 1. But maybe I'm biased. But yeah, I would say Shannon Sharpe's number 1. And then I'd say Antonio Gates. And then like Kelsey. Or Gronk. But in terms of who I saw with my own 2 eyes, who was the best tight end that I've ever seen because of just like the full gambit of like a tight end, I would definitely say like Antonio Gates was insane. Like Antonio Gates was wild how good that dude was. And his was more impressive because he didn't play football in college. He played basketball. So yeah, Antonio Gates and Shannon Sharpe for me. But I mean, obviously Kelsey and, you know, and Tony Gonzalez and Gronk, they're all really good too. Bro, got nuked in Fallout. He did. Phil Spencer's camp got nuked in Fallout, which was funny. Antonio Gates was my dog. Yeah, Antonio Gates was awesome. Did Gates block? Gates blocked a little bit. I mean, he was there when what's it called? When LaDainian Tomlinson had like broke the touchdown record, right? So I mean, he was definitely doing some blocking. If you want to talk about best blocking plus receiving, yeah, I mean, obviously Gronk is the best overall tight end. I would definitely say Gronk is the best overall. But I would say this. There's a guy that I think is in the ballpark or going to be. I think that you know, you've got some other guys as well. You know, I think George Kittle. George Kittle's a guy that doesn't get enough respect And I think that when it's all said and done, George Kittle could be among some of the greats. I just wish they'd throw the ball to him more. I just wish they'd get more targets. I hate the fact that he doesn't get that many targets per game. He's always blocking. So, whatever. I hate championship talk, like you don't deserve to talk to me. I hate that too, man. I can't stand that. It's like, why do people say that? Like, he says, oh, you don't have that GG, whatever classification. What are you talking about? Shannon Sharpe was absolutely one of the best tight ends in his profession at the time that he was playing. Many people thought that he was the best tight end when he was playing. Obviously, Tony Gonzalez and all that, you know, came in and did what he did. But, like, I don't understand why, you know, Shannon Sharpe can't speak on that. He won 3 championships, you know? So, I don't know. Yeah, he wasn't Super Bowl MVP. But, once again, they didn't pass the ball a lot back then. Terrell Davis got it. Did Terrell Davis get it both? Terrell Davis got it one of them, right? Super Bowl MVP, or was it Elway got one of them? And then Terrell Davis got one? Was it 1-1 for them? Who remembers off the top of their head for the 2 Super Bowls that Elway got at the end there? I think it was TD got one of them, right? Or did he get both? I mean, Shannon could block a little bit, but you know, obviously he liked to catch the ball more. Barkley might not have a ring, but he's beast and won MVP. Shaq. Yeah, okay, yeah. Charles Barkley, he said that he's not allowed to talk because he hadn't won a championship. I mean, but he won 2 games against Jordan. I mean, let's keep it real. Shaq didn't win any championships in Jordan's era either. If you're talking about like prime Jordan, Shaq came into the league in 91, 92. Shaq didn't win any championships when Jordan was at his peak. You know? So he went to the finals and got blown off the court by the Houston Rockets. So Shaq didn't win any championships when Jordan was at his peak. So Barkley, unfortunately for Barkley, he played in the peak of Jordan, Bird, Magic, Isaiah. What can you do? David Robinson had to wait. David Robinson started in the 80s, right? David Robinson didn't get nothing all the way till all those guys were retired and old. So David Robinson didn't get none. Patrick Ewing, well, David Robinson got it later, and then David Robinson got more titles as Tim Duncan, and they took over. But like Patrick Ewing didn't get nothing. There was a lot of guys that didn't get nothing, you know, in that Jordan, Bird, Magic era. A lot of guys didn't win anything. So it is what it is. Okay, yes, 1-1. Okay, yeah, I thought it was 1-1. One for I mean, you got to have Elway winning one Super Bowl MVP. That would just be a sour spot on his career if he didn't win 1 Super Bowl MVP. So yeah, man. I mean, that's just how it was, man. So that's the reason why Charles Barkley didn't win a championship. Charles Barkley didn't win a championship because he's playing in the era of Jordan. You know, many people didn't. In the era of Jordan, in that 90s, there's only what? There's only 2 people. 2 teams that won a championship in the 90s, other than the Bulls. The Spurs, and I think that was 99-2000. The Spurs, like Tim Duncan year, right? That lockout year, I think Jordan was gone. Tim Duncan, David Robinson, the Spurs, and the Houston Rockets. Those were the only 2 teams that won anything. Those were the only 2 teams that didn't win anything. Yeah, and Mourning got one at the end when he was pretty much washed. But the only 2 teams that won anything in Jordan's dominance was Spurs and the Houston Rockets. That's it. That's it. So what can you do? Jordan didn't win any titles in the 80s when it was Bird and Magic winning everything. Who got a title? I think the 76ers got 1 title in the 80s, right? It was either Lakers or the Magic, or sorry, Lakers or Celtics. Pretty much everybody in the 80s was either Lakers or Celtics. Magic won 5, Bird won 3. So there was 2 titles. I think 76ers won 1, and I don't know who won the other. I don't remember who won the other. So yeah, Pistons got 1 towards the end, right? Because the Pistons won 2. Did they win 2? Pistons won 2. Or did they win 1? I think Pistons won 2, right? Yeah, 89 and 90. There you go. 89 and 90. So in the 80s, only 76ers and Pistons. That's it. It was either Bird or Magic. Lakers or Celtics. So it's not like in the last 20 years, those 20 years, how many champions did we even have? We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We had 7 teams. We had 7 teams in 20 years win. That's wild. Only 7 teams. Hell, the last 7 years in the NBA, we've had almost 7 different teams, right? If you look at it, since the KD, the what's it called? The Warriors got that one, but it's been all around. It's been all right. Lakers won one. Giannis won one. Who else won one? Yeah, the Warriors won one. The Nuggets won one. You know, who was it before that? So, yeah, you're behind us. Magic won 5, Celtics and Bird won 3. So yeah. So it's not like there's a lot of champions out there back then. It's not like there was a lot. If Barkley played with Kobe, he would have won a ring. Maybe. I mean, not early Kobe. Peak Kobe, maybe. But once again, Barkley just ran into Jordan. That was just the only problem. He just ran into Jordan. He just ran into Bird and Magic and all that. He just ran into Jordan. It's unfortunate. Yeah, Raptors. Forgot about them crusty Canadian Raptors, right? The Fidels. No, they had a squad that year. They had Lowry, they had Siakam, they had Kawhi. They had Kawhi. Yeah, Raptors won a finals. Raptors won. So yeah, we've had like 7 in the last 7 years. We haven't had a back-to-back in a long since the KD Warriors, right? So that was like what? That was 2018, 2019. So we haven't had a back-to-back in a while. It's been a hot minute. So we just had a bunch of random winners. So we've had more different winners now than there ever was before, like in Barkley's era. Brock Rob says Microsoft is cooked. Raptors got lucky. KD and Clay got hurt though. That's true. That's true. If KD and Clay were full speed, or even if KD was full, they probably would have lost. To keep it a buck, they probably would have lost because that Raptors squad was slightly above mid. They were okay, but they weren't incredible or none. They were just They were just okay. I mean, they played good defense. They had Kawhi, they had Siakam, they had some Lowry, they had some good feisty guys that can play. I think they had Van Fleet. They had Van Fleet, you know. But man, if it was Jordan, bro, if it was the 96 Bulls, if it was any of the Bulls, 91 through 93, 96 through even bro, it could be the Bulls team without Jordan when Scottie Pippen was the leader. when he took himself out the game because they gave Tony Kukoc the game-winning shot or the shot to win the game, and he got so salty, and Kukoc made it. So he was like, "Yo, that Bulls team would have smoked that Raptors team, bro, without Jordan. That Bulls team would have smoked him. I guarantee you, that Bulls team with Kukoc and Pippen when." Guarantee you that Bulls team would have cooked them. Guarantee you. Guarantee it. Yeah, Tony nailed that. Tony Kukoc was awesome. Tony Kukoc would be incredible in today's day because he'd shoot so many damn threes. He would have made like $100 million more than he actually made if Tony Kukoc played in today's era. Imagine if they let him be like the European swing man that he really was supposed to be instead of being like a pseudo big man, like gotta play bang down low. Imagine him in today's day. It'd be like Chet Holmgren or something like that, right? Or like Wemby. Well, obviously he's not as good as those. Well, we'll see if Chet is as good as him. He's not as good as Wemby. He won't. But imagine if Kukoc actually got to play the way that he played when he was in Europe. Dude would have been wild. It would have been wild to see him play. But when he played with the Bulls, he had to man up. He had to play against bigger guys. He had to play defense. He couldn't shoot as many threes because they didn't shoot threes like that. Like, Kukoc had to play a whole different game. But if they let him be what he was when he was in Europe, oh man. In today's day, Kukoc would have been making crazy money. Even though he did make a lot of money. I mean, he was paid very well. Don't get me wrong. Kukoc made a ton of money. But imagine his game in today's day. At 6'10", with the 3-ball like that and the dribbling. Wild. Yeah, he's underrated. He did win 6th Man of the Year, though. He did win 6th Man of the Year one year. 2010 Lakers greater than 96 Bulls. You know that's cap. You don't even believe what you're saying right now. You don't even believe that, bruh. You don't even believe that. 2001 Lakers, you don't even believe that either. You know that. You know that's not. You know that would it. You know good and well that they would lose. That's the funny thing. That's the funny thing. You know. This man said 2010 Lakers. Absolutely not. The ones that had trouble with the Celtics, those ones? No. Kobe beat the Celtics big three who had more talent than the 96 Bulls, let's be honest. Okay, explain to me how the Celtics big three had more talent than the 96 Bulls. Explain to me how. So who's better than Jordan on that team? Who's even close? Nobody. Not even close. They got Rodman. He's a Hall of Famer. They got Pippen. He's a Hall of Famer. They got Ron Harper, who has long arms and elite defensive wing. Elite defensive wing. What are you talking about? They had Steve Kerr hitting buckets. Wide open buckets. What are you talking about? Come on now. Stop it. Other than Jordan. Pippen! Scottie Pippen, Hall of Famer, one of the top 50 greatest players of all time. Scottie Pippen. Dennis Rodman, Hall of Famer. What do you mean other than Jordan? Pippen's locking up whoever he's on. He locked up Magic Johnson when Magic Johnson was killing Jordan. And Jordan is a Defensive Player of the Year. Jordan won Defensive Player of the Year. Think about that for a second. Jordan won scoring title and Defensive Player of the Year and MVP. So Jordan's more talented than Rondo and KG put together, or Paul Pierce and Rondo put together. Jordan is more talented than both of them combined. Defensively, Ron Harper was a menace. Go back and watch the games. I don't have to sit here and defend those 96 Bulls. I don't have to defend them. Because anybody that knows basketball knows that what you're saying right now is insane. That you would just put those crusty ass Celtics that won one title against the 96 Bulls. That is insane. Like, they had more talent. No, they didn't. If they had as much talent, they would have won more than one title. If they had more talent than the 96 Bulls, they would have won multiple titles. They won one. Bro, cut the cat. They won one title. Oh, they got more talent than the 96 Bulls. What did that talent get them then? It got them one title. That's what it got them. Bro, stop the cap. Bulls did 2 3-peats. Talking about the Lakers in 2001. Yeah, the Lakers did 1 3-peat. Bulls did 2 3-peats. Bulls did 2. Stop the cap. Oh, they got more talent. Okay. What happened? Let's see here. Who's better than KG, Paul, and Ray Allen? It's not about being better. That's the funny thing about people. People think that if you put together a bunch of people that can play, like the Suns, oh, look at all the talent that the Suns have. They have KG, they have Beal, they have Booker. That's great. The 96 Bulls would have absolutely stomped the mud hole in them. Yeah, sure, you got all these scorers and talent, but it's about how you play as a team. The reason why the Celtics didn't win more than one title, because all that talent doesn't mean that you're the best. It means that you just have talent. Good for you. But what you need is chemistry. What you need is a real team. And the 96 Bulls, and the reason why the Bulls three-peated, is because they had a team. Not just talent, but a team. Rodman locked up 1 through 5. Rodman can cover point guards. Rodman can cover your center. Ron Harper locked up 1, 2, 3, and 4s. You need guys that can play defense. You need rangy length. So you're not going to give credit to Ron Harper, but I guarantee you, if you put Ron Harper on Ray Allen, he's locking Ray Allen down, and Ray Allen ain't scoring. Guarantee you put Ron Harper on Ray Allen, and he's not scoring. He's not scoring. He's gonna lock him down. They're gonna play good team defense. You can put Rodman on KG, and Rodman would frustrate KG so much. He'd have him talking, he'd have him technical fouling. Rodman would foul KG out of the game. He would get him to get technicals. Rodman would just be a menace on KG. He would just pester him. Then you have Pippen. You put Pippen on Paul Pierce, and Pippen's gonna lock down. Pippen's better than Paul Pierce. We all know Pippen's better than Paul Pierce. Pippen's better than Paul Pierce. He's gonna lock down him. And then y'all still gotta deal with Jordan. And then after all of what I just said, you still have to deal with Michael Jordan. Then you still have to deal with Jordan. Oh, by the way, you gotta deal with Jordan, that you need to double team or that you need to do whatever on Pippen, who can score, who can play down low, who can block shots. Oh, by the way, you got this little white dude running around named Steve Kerr. Just running around hitting threes. Just running around hitting threes all over the place. Oh, by the way, you got this 6'10" European dude that's also hitting threes, that's playing defense, that can lock down 2, 3, and 4, and can even lock down some of your 5s. Tony Kukoc, he wasn't an elite defensive player, but he was a good defensive player. It's about the team. You didn't watch the Bulls. I already know you didn't watch the Bulls because you said them crusty ass Celtics that won 1 title could beat the 96 Bulls. That's why I know that you don't know basketball. You just exposed yourself, Nick. Look at all that talent with their 1 title. Oh my God, so much talent with 1 title. Why did they win more than 1 title? They were together. How many years they were together? Didn't LeBron put a foot in them 1 year too? LeBron stopped them by himself. No offense to LeBron, but there's no way in hell LeBron and those Cavs teams could even sniff Jordan's jockstrap with the 96, 97, or 98 Bulls. Jordan would have stomped LeBron out, and it wouldn't even been close. Stomped him. Just never said you could. Bro. Go back and look what you just said. Kobe beats the Celtics big three who had more talent than the 96 Bulls. Let's be honest. You just said they had more talent than the 96 Bulls. They did not have more talent than the 96 Bulls. You were trying to say since Kobe beat that talented team, that means they could beat the 96 Bulls. The Celtics could beat the 96 Bulls because they had more talent, even though they didn't have more talent. But you're saying that they had more talent, but they didn't. The 96 Bulls would have stomped out any of these teams. I mean, that's the problem. When you didn't watch the games, you don't know. You don't know. But if you watch the games, you'd see what I'm talking about. Bulls would stomp Hakeem Olajuwon. They would stomp so many great teams. Even if you go back and look at that Suns team. That Suns team with Charles Barkley, dude, that Suns team was loaded. They had Kevin Johnson. They had Dan Marley. They had Barkley. They had a squad, dude. They had a squad. And Jordan stomped them out for like 40 a game, dude. Like, Jordan dropped averaged 40 points a game. Like, against that good, the Suns that year won 60 something. They won 63 games in a very tough Western Conference that year. And Jordan just came there and just dropped dots on all of them. Just unguardable. So, yeah, no. So that's the Sicilian with the $2 says, Spurs team who beats the Heat gives Bulls trouble. The Spurs team who beats the Heat gives Bulls trouble. I agree. The Spurs team, I think it was the 2014 Spurs That 2014 Spurs, or one of those years, I forgot what peak year Spurs, that gives them, because it's not about star power, it's about team play. And that Spurs team played old school. They played like a 90s team. They got size, they got slashers, they got Ginobili, they've got Tony Parker, they had I think Sean Elliott was a previous, but they had Bruce Bowen. You know, they had guys that can lengthy, rangy, play defense. They have Tim Duncan, obviously, double machine. That one gives Bulls a little bit, gives them some trouble. I don't think they beat them, but they give them some trouble. That to me is better team ball. It's not just about talent. That Spurs team cooks most of a lot of teams out there, you know? Jordan beat plumbers. When you see the new videos of Jordan going left and right, missing hella open threes. Yeah, Jordan beat plumbers. You mean Hall of Famers, right? You mean Hall of Famers, not plumbers. You mean Hall of Famers, because that's who he beat. He beat Hall of Famers in the finals and stuff like that, or even going up to, in the Eastern Conference. He beat Hall of Famers. Jordan beat Magic, Drexler, Barkley, Ewing, Peyton, Kemp, Malone, and Stockton. All Hall of Famers. Every one of them Hall of Famers. And that's not even all the Hall of Famers. There's more. There's more that he beat. We done with the 90s? Absolutely not. You damn kiddos out here talking about this. This man said the talent of the Celtics. The one championship Celtics. Oh my God, so talented. They're fake ass big three, man. Get out of here. with their ghetto Fallout, crusty, glitchy Bethesda big three, bro. Their crusty ass Bethesda big three. Starfield big three. Starfield big three, bro. Yeah, those guys have 0 rings because Jordan made sure that they didn't have no rings. That's why they got 0 rings, buddy. Jordan made sure they had no rings. But no, Drexler has some rings. But they made sure. Jordan made sure that they had no rings. He put the kibosh on them. That's why those guys don't got no damn rings. It's because of Jordan. The only time anybody got rings is when he retired. That's the only time anybody got any rings is when he retired. He had one season where he came back. He was still a little bit out of shape where, okay, he didn't do so hot after that when the year that he came back. But he went right back to winning right after that. 6 titles in the 90s. So, so yeah, man. Says Payne don't count. He was 40 coming off the bench. Okay, see, here's the problem. Here's the problem. See, this is how you know you don't know basketball. Jordan played Gary Payton at his height. That was the 96 Sonics, okay? That was literally Gary Payton, the glove. That was all-pro defensive Gary Payton, all-NBA Gary Payton. And you're saying that he's 40 coming off the bench. You don't, Nick, please, be quiet. You're embarrassing yourself. You're embarrassing yourself. That was literally Gary Payton's best year. Literally the Sonics' best year in the modern history of the Sonics. They had a squad. Detlef Schrempf. They had Sean Kemp. They had Gary Payton. They had a squad that won like, I think almost 60 games that year. And you're sitting here, he was 40 coming off the bench. No, that was when Gary Payton was on the Lakers. Or that was when he was on the Heat. Bro, stop, man. Stop. Please. You don't know basketball. No, he says but the ring Peyton got at the end doesn't count. I didn't say Peyton got. I said Drexler. I said he beat Drexler and Drexler had a ring. Okay, so I didn't mention Peyton, but he beat Gary Payton in his prime. The reason why Gary Payton didn't get a ring in his prime is because Jordan bodied him. Is because the Bulls beat him. That's the reason why Gary Payton didn't have a ring. Is because the Bulls won every year. You keep on mentioning all these guys. You're making it seem as if, oh, why don't these guys have any rings? What happened? Dude, because they kept losing to Michael Jordan. Why don't these guys have any rings? Dude, because Jordan won all of them. And Hakeem Olajuwon won the others in the 90s. So that's the reason why these guys don't have rings. They don't have rings because Jordan was beating them. That doesn't mean they're not good. It means that they don't have rings because Jordan was beating them. They're still good. It's just Jordan's way better. Jordan's way better. What I'm trying to say, man, is that you don't understand basketball. You didn't watch. You didn't watch the games. You didn't watch the games. GP had Kemp and Detlef. The Bulls had a better squad. That Sonic squad was scary. They did win 2 games, though, if I'm not correct. They did. That Sonic squad was crazy. You had the Rain Man, Sean Kemp. Dude, Sean Kemp was wild. That dude was crazy good. Anyway, we're going to stop it here, guys. I've already went too long. I got to edit. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for coming out to the stream. Thank you guys for having basketball discussion with me. Shout out to Nick93 for being a good sport as well. I appreciate you, Nick. Excuse me. I appreciate you being a good sport about the basketball discussion. Who's beating Jordan in the 80s, though? The Celtics. With Bird and the Hall of Fame team. The Celtics. That's why. All right. So make sure you guys, let's see here. And Jordan had nobody around him. Jordan had no team in the 80s. It wasn't until he got Pippen and all that, and then they were able to actually get a squad. So yeah. All right. Check out my most recent video. Thank you so much for being here, guys. I appreciate y'all. Most recent video is up. I'll have another video for you guys edited. I think tonight I'll try. Oh, I got so much stuff. I gotta go get my car turbo charger busted. Thank you guys for the donos tonight. Appreciate y'all. I don't think we're gonna. If we stream tomorrow, it'll be early because I've got something that I've got to do. I'm gonna be very busy tomorrow. So if we stream, it's gonna be super early in the morning, or way earlier than what I usually do. But I don't think I'll be on the Spawncast, and I won't be streaming the Spawncast pre-show normally. So if I do stream, it's just gonna be early. So if you guys want to come out to that, just be ready, have your notifications set and all that. So yo, shout out to Bad Set, man. Appreciate you. Thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. Cuts. Thank you guys for the donos. Thank you guys for the support. Massive Rican, JoJo's tonight. Thank you guys. 28 on the combo board. Let's go. Thank you guys so much for your support. I appreciate it. And we will see you guys tomorrow. Maybe we'll see you guys tomorrow. Maybe. All right, guys. Love y'all. Peace.